Yo,
Good morning, everybody. Ho, 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 and Merry Christmas Eve. How we doing, my man? What's good, Reg?
dude, I am ready for the day. Even though no trading, I'm ready for everything else non-trading related.
I have got a very busy night ahead of me tonight being an elf.
Myself included. I need to have this guy go and do his night shift tonight.
You're
So
going to pull them off your head for once, go do your job.
yeah, he was complaining in my ear like I have to work night shift. I have to work night shift. I have to go and do all this work stuff. I was like, be quiet, mate. I have a
God,
stream
talk,
to do.
talk about whinging. Who knew? Santa was such a whinge bag.
Yeah, and I mean he does this every year. I think he deserves a little.
No!
Yeah,
He has to work once a year. Tell him to
no.
grow up.
Well,
Tell him
he's
to
an
act
old
his age. Oh man! For those of you who were with me or with us yesterday, I do apologize sincerely. I was incredibly under the weather, but I'm feeling 110% today. I'm feeling back. I'm back and I'm good to go. I'm ready to. I'm ready for my ring light to just.
You're ready, but your equipment seems to.
I'm I'm ready. My equipment's not.
Yeah.
Also, so I don't know if you guys can tell, I'm actually at a different setup today. Exact same room, exact same desk, absolutely everything's the exact same. However, I wonder if I can pull this up without, absolutely, an absolute catastrophe happening. Can you see? Woo!
That the laptop.
That's your laptop. I am now officially getting all the teething issues out of the way for the stream when I'm in Hong Kong. So I am now on my laptop. My PC is behind me. It's all turned off. It's shut down. My microphone is now maneuverable. My laptop, my keyboard and mouse, all that is now maneuverable as well. So it's official, guys. It is testing period between now and the 6th of Jan. So super exciting. So if every now and then like my camera will like drop or like my ring light will drop, it's because it's temporary. They're only up because like I've managed to sort of do some DIY to make sure that all my equipment stays there because once it's all down, I'll actually be packing my laptop into my suitcase following with all the other equipment, and then I'll be back on my old streaming software for probably 2 to 3 days, maybe a week or so max. While I then look at transitioning into my move. So yes, let's have a bit of a catch up with chat as well, guys. Good morning to each and every one of you. Hope you're all having a fantastic day. Hope you're all excited for the big fat man to come down your chimney later on tonight. Hope you're all doing fantastic. If you haven't already, come say good morning to us in chat and make sure that you smash out that like button. Let's see how many likes we can get at the start off, kickstarting this stream for a very Merry Christmas over the next couple of days, over the next Christmas period, Christmas weekend, should we call it? Tomorrow is the last stream on Christmas Day. It's the last stream of the week, and it is a Christmas Day stream. And you've got this very handsome fella above me here, about to go do some Christmas jolly streaming with you all tomorrow. But this is my last stream now with you guys before Monday next week. So come into chat, say hello, say Merry Christmas, tell us what's on your wish list and what you've asked Santa for, and make sure you subscribe to the channel if you are new here. If you've asked Santa for a profitable trading strategy, good job. He's currently diving into Richard Butler's brain, so I think he's actually going diving, looking for profitable strategies at the moment. So once once Rich pulls Santa out of his brain, I'm sure he will be delivering you with your profitable trading strategy.
Yes, he is definitely deep diving into my brain at the moment. Yeah, so exactly that. Tomorrow it's going to be a very intimate moment. It's going to be myself, Uno, with Mr. Claus over here, just doing a little bit of, probably not a market breakdown, but I was
You're gonna
thinking,
dress up as Santa, like a proper effort.
Well, I don't have like his overcoat because I had to give it away because it was too heavy for me to put it on my head while he was in my brain. So the only thing
Hold
was
my jacket.
yeah, was just I pawned all of it. You know, he's been taking up all of this
Hold all
mental
Christmas presents.
all of it. So yeah, you got to make money somewhere, mate.
Yeah.
I'm thinking tomorrow we can kind of go through just a very simple strategy. I've got an hour and a half with everybody in chat, so yeah, let's just kind of like go through something very simple, very straightforward, something to try in the new year, and then maybe kind of go through how I go about doing backtesting for a simple strategy, and then just kind of going through the motions. So yeah, something to do.
Wow, that sounds super exciting. Part of me wants to now ditch my family and my partner and say I'm gonna come join you on stream because that sounds fantastic, mate. But unfortunately,
Do
you
it.
know,
Do
gotta do it.
Do it.
I got the little rich on one side and my partner on the other side. But you know, got to play good boyfriend duties, good brother duties, good brother-in-law duties, good stepbrother duties, and good son duties. So
What about good friend duties?
I know, mate. I know. Well, apparently, you know, there's a hierarchy. Little did I know, I was going to put you guys up there, but apparently that's a wrong thing to do.
Yes. And who told you that? Was it the hierarchy, the ones away at the top?
Yeah,
Like,
it was funny enough. It was the people that put themselves up there, you know. So yeah. I kind of feel like there may be a bias going on over
are
here.
you not supposed to be at the very top of the list, and that peasant over there should be at the very bottom?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, mate. Apparently, I was told that I must put my priorities straight. So, don't know what that looks like, but apparently, I'm being told. So,
What are priorities? Can you eat it? Does
well,
it go
no,
on the
I
sandwich?
asked could I trade it, but apparently, you can't trade priorities. Apparently, that's not a tradable asset. I tried.
Fixed asset, mate.
Yeah, apparently
Movable.
so. Apparently, it's not a high earning asset though.
What priorities?
Yeah. Oh man, let's have a quick catch up with chat. Trade with Patel saying waiting. Awesome to say. So many of you were waiting as well, which is super cool. So thank you very much for waiting, and I hope the wait did pay off. You had us very averagely looking gentlemen waiting also for you guys. Hi, what's good, Utam? How you doing? Good morning, Infinity. How are we doing, Infinity? I hope you are well. Merry Christmas Eve, brother. Zion saying hi. How are you doing, Zion? Lara saying good morning, everyone. Good morning to yourself. Happy Christmas Eve, everyone. Thanks for spending part of your holiday with the Fivers family. 100%. You know, I cannot show up and not be part of the Fivers family. You know, yes, okay, all jokes aside, I have got my own family to go to on Christmas and to spend time with and look after. You can actually...
No, you don't.
Oh, actually, hang on a minute.
You don't. You've only got us. Did you just move?
He's watching this stream right now.
Is that a gift?
I use one of them, yeah. It was like, it wasn't a gift. It was like a little something.
Dude, you should have left it there and not acknowledged it.
That's true. I should have.
You should have just not acknowledged its existence. And if she asked, then you would have been like, "No, it's always there."
Yeah, dude.
Straight up, just lie to her.
Have you not seen it before? Shows how much attention you pay on my stream.
It's been there every single time. You don't see it because of the angle, so just do a little bit of light gaslighting. You know, just a little bit of light gaslighting.
Just gaslight her out of believing that it was there.
It was there.
But yeah, like I said, guys, you know, I have got my own family to be with on Christmas Day, but nonetheless, I cannot do that without coming and spending a bit of time with my my trading family. So Merry Christmas Eve to you all, and I hope you have a very fantastic holiday.
You're in trouble, mate.
Yeah,
you're in trouble.
I'm in trouble. Entry fee today is 1 like on the video. Help us boost the algorithm so more traders can join the holiday session. We're glad to have you here. 100%. That is the only entry criteria. That's the only cost to join the Fivers family, is to make sure that you like this video, and if you are new here, make sure you subscribe. Like I'm saying, hi, how you doing? Let's keep continuing to have a look. Giveaway for Christmas. We do not have a giveaway for Christmas, but Our next giveaway, I don't know if we're doing anything in the new year. I don't think we are, but however, we will be doing a giveaway with 100,000 subscribers, which is less than 7,000 subscribers to go. So like Remy said, make sure that we are hitting that algorithm, make sure we're pushing it out in front of traders who want to be here. So make sure that you do subscribe to the channel. Today's session is late. Better be late than never. I'm joking. Yeah. No, like I said, guys, it is Christmas. Some of the guys are off spending time with their family, whether that's traveling for the holidays, whether that's going to spend time with family. And like I said, you know, I'm battling with my family on what counts as priorities. We've had this discussion, and you're up there, guys. I'm putting you guys up there. So that's why we were starting the stream today, because we love you guys, and we wanted to make sure that we're going to come spend some time with you on stream. The systematic trader saying, "Will your smile, your smiley face makes my day. Merry Christmas."
Ooh.
Amazing. Systematic trader, I love you. Make sure that you have a fantastic holiday, and I'm glad that I make your day. Louis, yo, what's good, man? Good morning, team. How you doing? Martin I saying hello, everyone. What is good, Martin I? What is good, Louis? Hope that you are all well. MGN Thalent here saying greetings. Hello there. Greetings, young one. How is thy? Good morrow to you, sir. Same question like always. Could you please check USD Swiss, my view on Discord daily? 100%, my man. In fact, while I say hello to everyone, I'm sure Rich is in the process of grabbing up the TradingView USD CHF, so we shall check that. And once we have... Oh no, she's in.
Told you, you're in trouble, mate.
But once we've caught up with chat, then I shall hand the reins straight over to this fantastic gentleman above me. Trent saying, Merry Christmas Eve. Merry Christmas, everyone. CC, oh my. Ho, 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 ho. CC, what is good? Here's my fantastic better half. It is too late. Damn it. It's too late. She caught it.
Told you,
God,
you should not have acknowledged its existence. You should have just left it there, and if somebody asked, you would have said, no, dude, it's just an ornament. It's been there forever.
Like, shush.
It's stuff that I've been moving around.
I'm trying to say you don't pay enough attention in stream to notice that that's always there.
Yeah.
It's too late. I'm having a golden retriever puppy for Christmas.
Okay. I was giggling at this because there's two ways to approach this. First of all, it could be like, I'm having a golden retriever puppy for Christmas, as in, I'm getting a puppy for Christmas as a gift. The other side of it is more of the, I'm having it as like, I don't know, a pot roast or as a meal.
Jai Shri Ram. I don't know if I've said that correctly. I'm guessing it's good morning or hello. But Jai Shri Ram, how are you doing, Sashin? He is mine.
You have an admirer.
Sorry, systematic trader. I am indeed the wonderful CC cat lady. I do belong. I already have an owner. Merry Christmas, Sashin. Absolutely, Merry Christmas to you. Rich, you're right, the first one.
Oh, okay, good. I'm glad that I at least, the first thing that came out of my mouth was the correct thing.
I'm having it as a gift. Are you?
Yes.
So we got a family group chat, and we saw, so I finished karate, and I've taken my car off the road, obviously, due to the fact that I've got a big move coming through. I'm going to be moving country in a couple of days' time, or a couple of weeks' time. So I've taken my car off the road. I needed a lift to karate, and my brother was staying at his partner's last night. So I was like, well, how the hell am I supposed to get home? So that's my dad. I was like,
to karate.
Yeah.
Daddy, take me to karate.
I was like, Dad, can you pick me up? And he's like, oh, for God's sake, what time? So I gave him the time. He said, I tell you what, I'll meet you at the pub there. So he's like, me and your mother are going to have a beer while we wait for you to finish. I was like, sweet, not a problem. Finished up, went to the pub. And he's like, look what I've just seen. I was like, what? He said, there's a golden retriever over there. I've put it on the family group chat. And I was like, delete it before CC sees it. And yeah, it was just way too late. it was just, yeah, I was like, oh, brilliant. So now apparently I'm getting her a golden retriever. So let me know in chat, guys, whether you think that I should actually get her a golden retriever or whether you think that I already have gotten her one.
I think that gift that you had there was a very odd shape for a golden retriever. So
yeah,
kind of weird.
True that. Yeah, no, true that. Where are you from, brother? Myself, I am from Wales. I'm from Gales in the UK. This handsome gentleman here is from the one and only South Africa.
Yes. I am from the southern tip of Africa, mate.
Indeed, my friend. So you've got the UK and South Africa. But let's know where you're from as well. Where are you watching from? Where are you coming from at this fantastic Christmas Eve? Let us know. In the meantime, I have said enough. I'm going to have another sip of my coffee. Otherwise, my voice is going to go hoarse before tomorrow. Although I'm probably doing Cece a favor so I don't have to talk to her. She doesn't have to hear my voice if my voice goes croaky. But in the meantime, I'm going to hand the reins over to Richard Butler for some top-down analysis on USD Swiss.
All righty, hoozles. Oh, you're from Bangladesh. Well,
oh, nice.
Welcome to our little, not so little stream.
Yeah, I was going to say little stream.
Yeah, big stream. So this is dollar CHF. So this is on the daily chart. We have been in a bit of a downtrend from March, April-ish. We got a little bit of a pullback into an area of interest over here on the daily, basically. Just wicked into it and started pushing volumetrically lower. And round about July, we started entering into this quite expansive area of consolidation. So if we just mark up the high point of the consolidation, which is that, what was this? This was August, July, August. That's the very tippy top of it. And then the last point basically is down here, which is where we are right now. So this is just a little bit larger than normal sideways action. And it's been going like this for a fair few months. So this is from September all the way through October, November, and into the late stages of December. So as of right now, we were in, or technically still are, within a consolidative area. But this is just on the daily. So if we start going down to the 4-hourly, you can see that the... Wait, man, let me bring this thing closer, because then, yes, let's do this. So on the 4-hourly, if we just look at that same area, it had moments of bullish nature followed by bearish, then sideways action, a little bit bullish nature, bearish nature, bullish, bearish, bullish, bearish, which is typical for consolidative price action. You have a high point, you have a low point, and you kind of just jump between the two. And you have micro structures within the lower time frame, or within this time frame, but on the lower time frame. That makes sense. So what am I looking for? First and foremost, the last low swing that we had was down here during the 14th of November. And we have now finally broken lower and closed lower. This was from yesterday. Then that last swing point. So this could be the sign for a potential attempt at breaking lower. Will we see a break lower today? No, I don't think we will. Will we see one in this year? I don't think so. I honestly think that when it comes to the December markets, this is just a move that is typical with sideways action. Yes, we did have 2 days of bearish action, but what's the driver? What's the driver to try and push it lower than this base area that we have here? If I go back towards the left and I kind of look for a potential area where I can condense it a little bit, the last, I would say, attempt to push lower was this candle over here, but the last candle before we volumetrically started pushing higher is basically this candle over here with this very long wick right next to it. We just missed the wicking just missed wicking there as well, but we're currently sitting within this area. So what do you want to see? You want to see either it break lower, test the bottom end of this area of interest down here, or what you want to see is you want to see price start attempting to push higher. But once again, what will be the driving force behind that? What's going to make pound Swiss actually start pushing higher? I don't really know. Not this time of the year. If you have a look at the news, we do have unemployment claims today. That could theoretically push the price in one of two, well, obviously in one of two directions. But other than that, you have bank holidays. And if you just look at the calendar as a whole, tomorrow is Christmas Day. That's Japan news.
I was going to say, we got the VOJ news out, but that's about it.
Yeah, and everything else is just bank holiday. So nothing on the Swiss side, nothing on the dollar side that could move the price lower or higher. The only movement that we could have is unemployment claims, and that is in an hour and a half. So maybe, let's see. So if I just go back to this is just on the 4 hourly. Now, obviously, the biggest thing is we have got this multiple downward push, one attempt to push price higher, and then a start to push down again. The only issue that I see on the 4 hourly, if I just move this out of the way, is that most of the movement that we had during Tokyo session was to push back into this base area over here. So the base area is the something like that. We tried to push back into it, but where was the follow through? It's 2 hours into this 4 hour candle, and we've had a larger wick to the upside and basically a quadruple low that is the same. So the low on all of these are very similar. So I don't know. I don't think that there is all that much in USD CHF at the moment to try and push price all that much lower, purely because we have these double lows down here, and the fact that it's bank holidays today and tomorrow, and it's only the unemployment news. So I don't think the unemployment news is going to like really push it that much that I would say, yes, let's hold it until next year. Because remember, now you've got 2 bank holidays and a weekend. So the next time that you actually...
Yeah, your volume now is going to be through the floor.
Yeah. So
what's your opinion on trading low volume?
Look, I think there is a space for trading low volume, but I don't think that it's buy and hold. I don't think that it is trading over.
You reckon it's more like 1 minute, 5 minute scalp time frame sort of?
Yes, I would rather go down to the 5 minute and try and do something like intraday scalping, trying to scalp between high points and low points, you know, from this area to try and reach that area down there, that kind of like thing, or like a halfway point in between. So entering a trade at this area down here and pushing it to the halfway point.
Personally, low volume doesn't mean no volume. It just means it's slower price than usual because obviously bank holidays and the market's still open.
Yeah, that's exactly the thing. But consider this: the market is still open to a degree.
Mm-hmm.
But the moment you have the banks, the big hedge funds and whatnot taking their bank holidays, that is where the majority, let's say 80%, just grabbing a figure out of Santa's boot over here, just grabbing at a number, 80% of your volatility, volume, and like directional movements comes from that.
Yeah.
And then the other 20%, let's say that's the retail traders. Do you honestly assume that all of the retail traders are trading the same asset? So you kind of have to have this hive mentality to have all of the retail traders be the ones trading a singular asset, and all of them have the same bias that they want to kind of like prove price wants to go up, and they all try and buy up. But who's going to be on the opposite side? There's no bank, there's no hedge fund that's waiting for that order to take place. So you'll have these like...
Have you not heard? Everyone is in Will Davis Christmas signals.
Yeah, but...
The entirety of retail trading industry is all in one Telegram group. It's called Full Margin Buy Gold Will Davis Christmas Signals.
Okay, great. Who's taking the sell? Who's taking the opposite end? Who's willing to sell when you're buying?
Oh, I don't know.
Where are they? Are they in the Richard Butler?
I was gonna say, do you want to open up like another signals group that says Richard Butler Full margin
margin
sells
of
gold. Christmas signal.
The thing is, who's on the opposite end of it? When it comes to the forex and whatnot, the majority of the ones that could actually move the market are just not there.
Yeah,
So
no, 100. FYI, guys, as well, I do not have a Christmas signals trading forex signals
called
group.
sarcasm.
There was jest in all that. That was a joke. Just in case people are googling Will Davis full margin gold forex signals Christmas Day. You know, it's not. It doesn't exist. Yeah, and if it is, it's not me.
The only thing that will be open on these bank holidays is the cryptosphere, and
Yeah.
you
And if
still
you're
have to
trading that,
think about the same thing now. Who is the biggest proponents for market movements on Bitcoin, as an example?
dude, I would have said the people. Like, I would have said the retail space would have been the big movers, like the basic supply and demand. But mate, like since probably late 24, early 25, I don't know. Like you institutions now have a massive part to play in that, and it's almost no longer part of. It's almost no longer the people's coin.
So the thing is, if those institutional traders are not there, where's your volume going? It's open, you can trade, but like it will most probably be the same kind of sideways action that you're seeing over here. Not a very large high point, not a very low point, and you're kind of like just dwindling between the two up until the new year or up until the bank holiday is over.
I certainly think up until the new year. I think it's like the third or fourth we'll start seeing like volume slowly coming back in the market. But until then, we're just going to range. You know, we're just going to range.
The thing is, it's going to be a ranging market, and then you're kind of going to be forced to have to sell at the high of that range and buy at the low of the range, and then pray that you don't have sudden volatility that just wicks you out of a position, and there you're sitting. So personally, myself, today is a no trade day for me. There's just too much bank holiday, and you have high impact news, which will then be followed by everybody going home early because tomorrow's Christmas, which is a bank holiday across the board. So it was my last trading day yesterday. I had a singular trade yesterday on NAS. It was a great little 1.5 RR trade. Other than that, it's no trading. But if I had to trade USD CHF, the Swissy, I would most likely wait for price to come back to an area and fail to create a new low, and then try and buy into the upper end of the range, as an example. So I would, if I had to, we've got to. Well, let's do this. I'm going to move this way. Let me remove all of the drawings, and then let's start afresh. If I just purely look at Tokyo, so today's price action, and London session, what we have is we have a low down here. We have a high up over here. Okay, so far for the whole day, this is where we've been ranging. When we opened up the day, that is where we were at the high point today. At the low point, we had a singular wick just lower and then kind of tried to push up. So what I'm going to look at is I'm going to try and look at local price action. So I just want straightforward, make a slightly higher high, fail to make a lower low, and kind of make a higher low, and then try and buy up. So I would want to see price already. This is the new low of the day. So technically, you can just pull that one a little bit back. This is the new low because price did wick lower. We have a lower high over here, but coincidentally, that lower high is higher than the previous swing low. So if this is a swing point, this swing point is technically higher than the previous swing point. If you take this area over here in a nutshell, it's still consolidative, it's still ranging, it's still sideways, but there is a potential to try and buy from this point. So we have a higher low over here, but we also have a declining range already. Okay, so probably not that much like that. Let's see if it's more like this. You have this little confined sideways action over here, but Now assume, and I'm not saying that this is how you should take the trade. I'm not advocating for taking a trade. I'm saying if I had to, this is what I would wait for. I would either wait for price to potentially show that it wants to break lower than this low swing point over here, come back, so push lower, come back, and then attempt to push lower, and then I would try and take a small little scalp, probably 5 pips, something like that, and 5 pips as an example, a 1-to-1, and I would risk very small, 0.1%, if I had to trade. But that's the lovely thing about trading, is that you can choose when you enter and when you don't enter. Personally, I would say on a day like today, I'm not going to have the volume that I require in order to take a trade and have it be within the time frame that I want it to be open. Because you have the lower volatility and you have the lower volumes today, after the lower volumes, you might have higher volatility than normal. So price might suddenly just absolutely wick up and then knock you out of position. Even though your analysis looked great, it was just one of those things. So I would rather say just don't trade today at all, unless this is the kind of stuff that's 100% in line with your trading strategy. And if it isn't, just stay out. Go and spend time with your family and all of that kind of like stuff. You know, just like move away from the market. But yeah, that's just... I honestly don't think today is a trading day. This to me is just absolute sideways action. And it's not a particularly large range either, you know. So that is the full movement. It's 19 pips. Now you could theoretically get like a really good move, a really good trade with 19 pips and whatnot, but how long are you going to be in this trade? You have news coming up. Are you going to be on the right side of the news? So I don't know. Your analysis that you put in the Discord, I had a look at it and it looks fine, but I don't know. You're looking at it from the 1 day, and the question is, are you going to have the volatility and the volume Christmas Day, Boxing Day, Friday, which is then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday again, potentially having some sort of movement, maybe not.
If it was me, I would have waited for like that volume to come in for and then looked for confirmation. But the thing is that I suppose maybe you would have gotten a little bit late then. I don't know, but depends on how you trade. However, I agree with Rich. You know, it's over the next. I'm gonna go solid 2 weeks. I'm gonna go solid 2 weeks. Low volatility, high consolidation, low volume. That's what I'm gonna go with. Meanwhile, actually, let's chuck some music on up in here.
Look, Martin, I'm not.
Hang on a minute, Rich. Hang on.
Yes.
Hang on. Now go.
I'm not disagreeing with the trade idea at all. What I am disagreeing with, or questioning, let's rather say, is the moment that you've decided to take this trade as an example, because it is a very, very, very low volatility time for, during the market, first and foremost. And secondly, it is also potentially a time where there could be unexpected volatility. So I would have potentially waited for the new year or for Monday or Tuesday to potentially consider taking a trade like that. It's just that for the next 2 weeks, you're going to have the most sporadic, weird movements. So this is a good thing to kind of like look at. You're saying you plan on holding the trade until next year. So consider this. Now you're going to have swaps for the next, let's say, 2 weeks, basically, a week and a half to 2 weeks, basically. And on top of that, you're going to have low volume, but potentially high volatility. So you're going to be in a trade for, let's say, 2 weeks, give or take, give it a little bit of time to breathe during the new year. But you would have paid swaps, holding over a time that potentially...
Unless it's positive swaps. Unless you're paying positive swaps, that's not so bad.
Unless, in that case, it's fine. But like, how often do you pay positive swaps?
It's once. Once this year I paid positive swaps. The rest of the time I got hammered on swaps.
Yeah. So But once again, Martin, if this is in line with your strategy, dude, don't let what I have to say discourage you from trading your plan.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm not an expert in all assets or all facets of the market. I feel like I'm an expert in what it is that I do and how I do it. So if this is in line with what you want to do, dude, go ahead. But
yeah, 100%. Yeah, we always say, if it's in your strategy, ignore us. You know, however, we'll give you our opinion because you asked for it. But yeah, I like your trade. I just don't like the timing. Very much like what Rich said.
I don't think that there's buys here.
But like you said, for the first time it's happened, you are now offside with Martin. Usually, like, you two are pretty aligned. But who knows? Who's going to win? Who's your odds on? Is your odds on chat or is it on Rich? Let us know, guys.
Okay, you know whose odds in whose side you should be, or on whose side you should be, on Martin's, because Martin is in a trade. So I'm not going to be like, Martin, no, screw that, be on my side. No. I'm going to be on your side because you are in the trade.
Yeah, if he's in the trade, Martin, we're backing you, bro. You got this. CC. Isn't it a bit cold wearing a t-shirt?
Not when you're that hot, mate.
I took the words right out of my mouth. Meatloaf style. You took the words right out of my mouth. Must have been while you were kissing me. You took the words right out of my mouth. Oh, I know it's true. I'm just about to say... Anyway, before this turns into the X Factor. You trying to say... Are you complaining? You get to see this gorgeous hunk of a man. I'm joking. You know, for everyone else that was about to throw up or threw up a little bit in their mouth, I'm more than happy to put a jumper on after that. Yeah, or just leave stream completely. Oh man, that was I grossed myself out then. That was disgusting.
Tell you what though, if gold keeps on doing what gold likes to do just before New York session, there is a potential for a proper gold move today.
Mate, check this out. This was my trade. Sorry, no. Let me refresh this. I didn't take this trade at all. I haven't been trading. However, this was the trade that I actually analyzed, charted up, and I had a look at. It was a 1 to 2 hour trade. Again, I was looking at that. Oh, what's going on? Nope, go away. I was looking at this on the 15 and I was like, what's going to happen? I saw this area here and I was like, it's a bit iffy. You know, we've got consolidation. Can we have a breakout? No, nothing, not really anything to see in here. We equaled this high and then we just tanked off, big wick to the low side and pushed back up. Overall trend, we are actually bullish. If we have a look at this sort of, you know, bullish momentum up here. So I was like, right, okay, you know, we're clearly bullish on that time frame. We came back up and matched these highs and then consolidated. Bullish price overall order flow. Pulled back into this low just down here, which is super cool. We wicked it, which was telling me, look, we tried to move higher. We moved lower. We tried to continue and then came back up to these highs. I thought, right, you know what? You know, consolidating around. Let's see what's going on here. And then we had this really big bullish move. I would have liked to have entered on the close. We didn't get a pullback retracement, so we would have only had half the position. However, what we did get was that continuation up, 1 to 2, consolidated. We had a break-even bounce. This is why I no longer trade with moving stops to break even. We had a break-even bounce and then a continuation onwards up to a 2R trade, which was really nice, followed by nothingness, followed by a complete reversal, which would have taken out. So if you ended up having a 3R trade, you would have hit a stop loss. That's why I find my 2R trades are usually my nice little sweet spot. So 2R trade and then it completely reversed, sunk, and then volatility dropped or volume dropped, and we just consolidated over Asia as we move into London and throughout London, and potentially we'll have to see what New York does. But I like to mark out my highs. You know, I like to mark out my highs and then, you know, see what's going on. Again, you know, mark out highs and lows. No, that's not low. There we go. There we go. Low there. Cool. So here's our highs and lows. Here's the area of consolidation that we're looking within. I want to see a break and close in either direction, preferably to the upside. Something a little bit like that would be super nice. Especially with the way it's been going. You know, we hit all-time highs again on gold at 4.5K. That's wild. So therefore, I'm kind of expecting something a little bit more like this. But, you know, 4.5K, who knew? You know, we didn't see 4.5K coming this year. I saw 4K. If anything, I kind of thought we'd struggle. I saw like 4K, maybe 4.1, and then like a pullback drop off, which happened, but I didn't see a continuation. Like we also, like I saw that higher time frame, continuation, pullback. I thought it was going to be continuation, pullback, consolidation throughout into 2026. We didn't. We had consolidation, continuation, sorry, pullback, consolidation, and then a continuation higher into $4,500 per ounce on gold, which is unfathomable. It's mind-blowing to see gold hit these sorts of prices before the new year as well. Like we were all debating a lot of even institutional traders that I knew or that I've been on panels with, big futures traders, big spot traders, you know, personal accounts. They don't trade prop firms, and I'm talking like 8-figure personal account traders, as well as having investors in their accounts as well. They were saying, yeah, no way, gold 3839 max. You know, that I can't see it going I can't see it going to 4K, and if it does, it'll probably be in like January, February, New Year when market volume comes back in. And I was like, no, I reckon 4K. I was like, 4K by Q4. I'm thinking like halfway through Q4, maybe 4.1, 4.2. Dude, I was spot on. But I did not expect to be this spot on. Like,
yeah, well, you were a bit early.
Yeah,
a bit early. You were thinking this was going to be in 2026, and it's just like, nope, 2025, mate.
Yeah, exactly. So gold's been crazy, which is really interesting because I'm a little bit scared to trade gold in 2026 now, because you know, I saw 4.5K coming. You know, I was like, yeah, okay, you know, 4.5K 2026 January, February time, you know, we'll continue those buys up. Now I'm there like, well, come on, like 5K in Q1, surely not. Like I don't know how to predict it. I don't know where to predict gold to come through. I haven't done a gold analysis yet.
Then don't predict it, mate. Just react to it.
But I don't know how to react to this. Like, we're in complete uncharted territories.
Okay. We were in uncharted territory the last time we made previous highs.
True. Fair.
And again, still in uncharted territories. How long are you going to be in uncharted territories before you start having a freaking map drawn out, mate?
Yeah, I just hate higher high. I hate all-time highs, man, because you have no area to TP from.
But what you do have is you have intraday.
True. Yeah, true. But what if your intraday is at higher, like all-time highs?
That's fine.
Oh, no. Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, it's fine. It's easy to trade. But
market structure, higher highs, lower lows, and look for points where there is potential areas for reversals. Look for momentum shifts. Look for areas for you to be in on that. So I'm hearing a lot of excuses, and I'm not hearing any. I'm going to do what I've been doing the whole year on.
100%. The thing is, it's like writing with me, like trying to buy when we're at all-time highs is like me trying to write with my left hand. I can do it. I'd rather not, and it's a bit messy.
Only a bit, mate. Like you should see me write with the left hand. It's just like, I am crippled.
Yeah, it's like a tongue out job. It's like really like concentration, tongue is out, dribbling the lot. It's like, you know, you're really trying to focus, and then you still look like a 3-year-old has written on a piece of paper. You know, so that's like me trying to buy gold at all-time highs. It's just I'd rather see a pullback so I can buy, because then I have something to target to. Then the buys make a little bit more sense.
I have my left hand is agile enough where I can do stuff. This is my left hand. As you can see, I've got the ring on the left hand. I can drop my chips, but my left hand is very agile with stuff like this. When it comes to playing guitar, playing bass, very agile. I can navigate a fretboard. But ask me to write or throw something with this hand, and it becomes like a toddler. I have zero power.
100%.
I have zero accuracy. I have zero control. But the stuff that I do have control over when it comes to playing bass and playing with chips or whatnot, my left hand is king. My right hand is like dumb when it comes to doing things with it. It's like just, you see, it's just slow.
Literally with that, it's like with boxing, with karate, I can fight southpaw, I can fight orthodox, I can jab with my right, I can jab with my left, I'm very much ambidextrous when it comes to balancing my body. Same goes, if I have to throw something, catch something, I'm very ambidextrous with both hands. The minute you ask me to think with my left hand, and what I mean by that is like try and do something that I'm not like, for example, like I said, buying at all-time highs is like trying to write with my left hand. It's something that, I haven't done. I've trained my body to be balanced, both sides, with karate, with boxing, with sports, so I've balanced my body. The one thing I haven't done is balance my brain. And I think it's something that I need to start working on into the new year. I think it's going to be like not a New Year's resolution, because I don't believe in that garbage, but more of a New Year's plan that I'm going to be adding to my current already existing plan, because I don't do New Year's resolutions. I just do a continuation of last year's plan. The only difference is, I'll tweak it a little bit, or I'll add in little bits or take away little bits depending on how the year's been or how the year's going. So I think that's something I'm going to try and add in, is trying to balance my brain a little bit more, because, like I said, my body, I can move very much within each other, and like I'm very spatially aware when it comes to my hands. But when it comes to my brain, like writing with my left hand, trying to buy when I, at all-time highs, trying to sell is also quite difficult for me. So, I think that people have a buy bias and sell bias, very much like right-handed, left-handed people. I buy easier than selling. Like, so for example, with gold here, I potentially could, I suppose, have found a setup for a sell opportunity here. Consolidation, we got equal highs. We got this low down here. We had the breakout. I could have, there's two opportunities I could have traded here. I could have had a high risk trade, sell here, or even here, or I could have had a medium risk trade, if anything, probably a lower risk trade here, and both valid sell opportunities. I wouldn't have had a 1 to 2 R. However, on that one, would I have 1 to 2? I would have had a 1 to 2 R on my higher risk. So that's what I could have been trading. However, I didn't see it. I struggled to see sells more than I do with buys.
Okay, but I have a question for you. Is it only on gold that you struggle to see sells? Or is
it every asset? I find it easier to buy than sell.
Okay, maybe it's because you have a bias towards things going up. It's only up and up and up and up. It's better. It's greater. It's larger.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that's what I'm going to try and implement more next year, or from my next point of trading when it starts, will be to start trying to balance my brain a little bit more to see buys and sells equally valid.
Awesome. I like that.
But we'll see. You watch, I'll end up doing a full 360, like a full 180. I'll start seeing sells more valid than buys.
I wanted to look at so this was my NAS trade of yesterday. So I wanted to just quickly run through this one. This was a cheeky little buy that I had.
Before you do that real quick, mate, I got Lazy Eyes, one name, that's an amazing name. I got Lazy Eyes saying, no position is a position.
Exactly.
I love that. You do not have to be in a position to be a trader.
But I think he also said something there. The more you look at the chart, you start to imagine things. Oh, look, a Wyckoff pattern. I think that is also something that's prevalent in people looking for trades instead of waiting for your trade to set up. It's because your mind can start playing tricks on you, thinking, oh, I'm looking for a consolidation break retest. And maybe there's some rules or whatnot that you've got implemented, and all of a sudden you see, okay, there's consolidation, but then you see a breakout. But the breakout is not happening, it's just a wick, or there's no confirmation as an example. And then you're like, okay, it's breaking out, and I take the trade.
A trader I know, and I'm not going to name this trader, but I know him relatively well. He's a great trader, but he has a fantastic mindset, and it's a little bit controversial because initially I thought, is he rushing it? But I kind of see where he's coming from. He will open the charts and within 30 seconds to a minute know exactly whether he wants to buy or sell, or knows exactly whether or not there's a valid trade setup appearing. And he will literally, and I mean literally, open his laptop, open TradingView, and within 30 seconds, he will decide whether or not he should analyze that market.
Okay, fair, but that's 30 seconds. So we're talking about the longer. So if I'm sitting here for an hour, 2 hours, 4 hours, I can convince myself.
Well, that's exactly why he does it, because he'll look at it and go, no, don't like that, I'm off. Come back in an hour or two's time, look at it, nah, don't like that, I'm off. Whereas he said, if he looks at the trade for too long, like you just mentioned, if he sits there for 5, 10, 15 minutes during price action that isn't favorable according to his strategy, he will then convince himself that there is something like inside the price action that isn't actually valid, which I love.
Fair. I mean, that is definitely one way of saying, okay, I'm having a look. I don't like what I see. I'm not going to participate. I'm going to do something else. That's great. I like that. But it also plays into the opposite side of the coin, which is the patience side.
Yeah.
Like, this person probably doesn't have any patience for sitting and potentially waiting for something different to set up. So it's either someone that's 100% following their plan. This is exactly what they're looking for. If they don't see it within the first 30 seconds, they don't bother. But then again, on the other side, maybe it's the person doesn't really have patience to kind of like sit and wait through the boring periods of the market.
That's why it kind of triggered me. That's why dude, I had the very similar view to you. I was there like, yeah, I can see why, like, this makes sense and it's awesome. Like, I love the idea of doing that and what he's saying. But I thought, sometimes you got to sit through the boring crap. Sometimes you got to sit through all the garbage price action that maybe you don't want to watch or want to listen to. You know, as long as you need to understand how your brain works. Punit, dude, hello. let's go give some attention to Punit. Hello, Punit. How are you doing, my man? Hello. We know you're there. Nope, you're still gonna go. Still going. What's good, my man? How are you doing? Merry Christmas to you, bro. But yeah, no, 100%, mate. I totally agree with you.
Anyway, so let me just quickly run through this NASDAQ trade of mine of yesterday. Yesterday, we had this during the Tokyo session, a little bit undecisive, didn't quite know where it wanted to be. It didn't even come close to the previous day highs and lows. Kind of reached a point where I thought, okay, it might want to start pushing a little bit higher, but then failed. Round about this point, started pushing a little bit lower, trying to touch this swing point over here. So this one downward leg, this is on the 5-minute. And then eventually we had a bit of news pushed it a little bit lower. We created the low of the day. But when we were supposed to have follow through, it basically made a double bottom. So I then decided, okay, I'm going to have this whole section over here as my low of the day, and I'm going to wait to see reaction. Now, generally, if I hadn't taken a trade during the London session, I will wait for New York to start showing its direction. And usually, I'm pretty like spot on with it. So what happened was during New York session, New York opened up on this candle over here. Nice bullish candle, pushed it higher. Still did not take any significant high points apart from the high of Tokyo. So Tokyo's high, if you imagine this little box coming out, here we go. If you imagine that little box over there, we had just wicked above, and then we started to push lower. So this is a reaction off of a established area, which is something that I look for. This reaction pushed price lower back towards this significant low down here. And instead of getting a follow-through candle, this candle over here showed a little bit of indecision. Indecision to me is a big wick on either side and a small candle body in relation to the wicks. So the wicks are both larger above and below this candle. So not really keen on seeing it push lower from here. Instead, what it did was it started pushing higher. And I thought to myself, okay, so this is clearly the area that makes more sense to me for a reaction off of than this area, because there was an attempt previously to come to this point and it just didn't even come close to it. So this area to me was just not a great area to have a reaction. I did not think that price was going to push lower. I thought price was potentially going to start going higher. And anyway, so when we had this nice bullish candle over here after a second attempt to push lower and then failing, like, you know, I do like my bases, and this was one of those bases. Okay, so I don't have my base up anymore. Anyway, so I waited for this candle to close, then it started moving a little bit down, started pushing a little bit up, a little bit up, a little bit up, and then eventually I thought, okay, you know what? I think that this is definitely going to go in my direction. I entered a trade right at this point. It was 25,464.6, and I rode it for 1.5 RR trade, just on the top end of this high wick that we had just after New York Open. And yeah, that was my one and only trade yesterday, and it's most probably going to be my last trade for the year. Most probably. Nice. Because since then...
Probably, but the chances could still be slim.
Yeah, well, it really depends. It really depends. But just based on what we've seen now the whole of today on NAS, Tokyo, the whole of Tokyo is also the whole of the London session. So absolute sideways action right now. I have zero interest in trading this. I just opened up my terminal so that I could do a little bit of like testing with the position slicer. I've been looking at trying to find a way to have my set stop loss and take profits be the just a button that I can click and then it will put it on the chart just to make things a little bit faster, but I still haven't found a way. But other than that, I have zero interest on trading today whatsoever. Just
I can't say blame you, mate. It's deaded price action at the moment.
But news might change that.
Huh?
News might change that.
True. What time is the news out today? 1:30?
So it is in an hour. We have 1 hour before unemployment claims comes out on the US dollar.
Yeah, and that's unemployment claims.
Yes. So, good move.
It usually does something, but it's not the biggest move in red impact folder news, so...
Not anymore.
No, it used to be bad. Yeah. Like, I used to look at unemployments and think, oh god, brilliant. Here comes the stop loss. But like now, I almost feel like it should be an orange folder news. It doesn't...
Look, it still moves the market, and you can still have volatility with it, but
not as much as it should. I feel. I think
it's on the lower band of the red folders.
Yeah, like you're not overly panicked. Like you're like, oh shit, it's there. Like you're aware that it's there, but it's not. You're not that fussed. You just don't trade it.
Yeah, I just avoid it.
Yeah.
I just avoid it.
Also, we've got a fantastic question here. I think I may need help digesting this. Hello, I've been following the channel for a while and I really like your content. I'm just curious on the answer to the following question. So, here's the question. What the community think is the best use case for the lives?
Yeah, so basically, what is people getting from the live streams? Like, what is it that...
Fair. Okay, great question. I was going to say, I just need a bit of help digesting that question. Glad that you love our content. That's fantastic. Glad to have you in here. Welcome to the Fivers family. Make sure that you have subscribed to the channel if you haven't already, and make sure, in fact, everybody, make sure that you're going to smash that like button as well. It does mean a lot to us. Give us our Christmas present early and give us let's get to 100 likes. Let's see if we can get this to 100 likes. We got 25 minutes before I skedaddle for the remaining, in fact, for the week. So this is the last half an hour you get with me until Monday. So let's get 100 likes on this video and subscribe if you are new here. But yeah, that's a good question. What do you guys think of the lives? What do you guys benefit from the lives? Are you enjoying like the entertainment part? Do you enjoy a bit of banter with us? Are you enjoying like seeing us do a top-down analysis, or like what? Are you learning, or is it just like a company thing? Are we keeping you company, or are you learning from what we're saying, or a bit of both? Let us know what you're taking away from our live streams.
Kamal Patel is saying 2.5K account have a maximum of 2 accounts per user. Please increase that to a maximum of 4 accounts. Merry Christmas, Fivers family. Love you all. I was under the impression that it was already at 4.
I thought it was 4.
Maybe there is, I don't know. Maybe there's a limitation, but
yeah. Speak to support. If they tell you that it's 2, then sorry, we're wrong. If it is 4, and maybe your hub is not, maybe it's a bug in your hub, then they'll exterminate it.
Well, I would suggest talking to support, because Will and myself have 0 input into whether or not that amount gets picked up or dropped. So
yeah, we're just pretty faces. We're just pretty faces who know how to trade.
Yeah,
only one of those will lie. So
they are the pimps and we are just the pets.
Yeah.
No, but in all seriousness, I would take that to support and just ask them for clarification. The news that we received was that it's 4 accounts per person. So
yeah, Eric Trade's saying it is 4.
Yeah, so that's all I'm saying. If you cannot buy more than 2, talk to support. So like I said, Will and I, we can only direct you to support, but we ourselves have no input, no control over whether or not you can have 2 or more.
Yeah, 100%. Speak to yourself. I am basically the CEO. I am Sol.
Well, you're definitely the uglier version of Sol.
Yeah, fair.
Michael Trader is saying you should really add prior day volume or time points of concern along with the prior week point of concern. It will help you with very strong trade location and solves the problem of where do I take the trade. Well, I don't trade volumes at all, but it is a good suggestion. I know that Anastasia uses
I was going to say, doesn't Anastasia use volumes? Do some of this. I'm pretty sure Jordan Mello also uses volume.
Yeah, he has before, yeah. But for every person, it's going to be a little bit different. I don't use volumes at all. I just purely go on the structure changes and looking for rally-based rallies and drop-based drops. That's entirely what I look for. So the trades that I get, I'm happy with. But putting volume as another visual aid while trading, I think is a good idea. But then you have to base your trading around the idea of volumes, where I just don't. Mine is more the momentum.
100%, man. I use volumes based on what I'm looking at the charts. Like if it's just complete flatlined consolidation, then I'll be like, clearly no volume. If there's a little bit more oomph coming into the market, like we're legging up or we're legging down slightly, or there's a larger candles coming through, then I'm like, okay, we can see a bit of volume come through. I think the experience allows me to understand where volume is and when it's coming through. But as far as like using a volume indicator or a volume profile, I don't use it. I like naked charts. I like my charts, like my women naked.
Mirage is saying, can you bring a 5K account on discount? I don't know if there is a discount on the 5K the same as the 2.5K account is, but you can use your hub credits for the 5K accounts.
I don't think there is. I don't know.
Yeah. The only account right now that is on special is the 2.5K account for $12. But cannot use your credits, your hub credits for the 2.5K, but you can use your credits for the 5 and up.
Yeah.
So just unfortunately right now it's only the 2.5K that's on special.
Yeah. Louis saying I use the live for great company. I love this. I love this. I love you guys who come on just for the company. It does mean a lot. However, those who come on to learn is even better, because you're going to pick up so much from the information that we give. But those guys who come on just purely for the company, it hits different, man, because I use the same. I really struggled to find a community I could become part of, and be recognized in, and join to, enjoy being a trader, because I find that trading I didn't enjoy it as much because it was so lonely. Like, I'd look at the charts, I'd be sitting here in an office, or at the time it was my bedroom. I'd be sitting in my bedroom. I'd be so bored. I'd just be sitting there trading, or maybe not trading, depending on what the markets were doing, and just lying on my bed, wishing that I could talk to someone about the markets, about trading, about P&Ls, about percentage gains, blowing accounts, taking wins, taking losses. But there was no one that I could actually talk to. And I think having this community, having the live streams, is had I have known they existed, then I definitely would have been like you guys, joining for the company. Hexam saying hello. I love you guys. Keep it up, bro. We love you too, man. Thank you very much for joining. Make sure that you give us a big fat thumbs up as well. Let's see if we can get 100 likes we've got 20 minutes. Let's see if we can get 100 likes. Good work. Appreciate that. CC, what's for Christmas dinner? Me. I'm joking. Kidding. Guys, get your head out of the gutter. I don't actually know. I think it's duck and turkey. Was it goose? Was duck, turkey, and goose? I don't know.
So, Bonima is saying 2 days ago you said it's 4 accounts plus 10k accounts 4. I have spoken to tech support and they were very unhelpful and said it's only 212.5. Okay, so first and foremost, I said that there were 4 accounts of the 2.5Ks, which then equals a 10K. Because you can have 10, it's 2.5, that equals to 10K. That's what I said. Secondly was that I said each one of them, imagine you... when you go through funding phase and you start scaling the accounts, they can become 5K, 7.5Ks, 10Ks. I never said that you could have 4 10Ks. And then they're saying it's only 2 12.5Ks. We don't have a 12.5K account.
Yeah, fair. I was going to say we don't have 12.5K accounts.
So... just go and check that information again, Bonima. I definitely did not say that we have plus 10K.
Make sure you're on the right firm as well. I mean, I'm not assuming that you don't or that you're not, but I don't know. Some people may accidentally click on the wrong firm and then go ask support from the wrong firm. Make sure you are on the Fiverr's website.
So I can show you this exact. So if you're in the Fiverr's Discord, you'll see that there's an announcement section, and in the announcement section.
Oh, so he meant 2.5K.
Yesterday, limited time offer. Get a 2.5K high stakes account for only $12. You can purchase up to 4 accounts per user. So this is the official announcement information.
There you go. There's the answer. Louis saying as well, $12 for 2.5K.
Exactly. So
that is the official information.
I never said 10K accounts or you can have 4 10K accounts.
Well, damn it, Rich, why are you lying to us? How dare you?
Anyway. Wyckoff Trader, trade location is at least 50% of trading because it identifies strong hand positioning. You need a tool to identify this on the chart. I disagree. I don't think that trade location is 50% of the trade and that it identifies strong hand positioning. I honestly think that if you have a strategy that requires a good entry point, if you're, let's say, not swing trading or you're not position trading as an example, then your entry point doesn't matter. If you're doing something like scalping or intraday, yes, then your entry matters only based on the idea of where is the swing likely to go to. And you can see that without volume. And on top of that, the volume that you see for argument's sake on TradingView is just tick volume. It's not actual volume.
Yeah, true that. Fair.
So there's
2 days ago, Bonemas, 2 days, it doesn't really matter when. You've now got the correct information. So when it's relevant, more so the fact that you've now got the information that you need. So do with that what you will. Instead of don't live in the past too much. like I said, if you got issues, speak to support. If not, we've just read out the exact official notification or exact official announcement. So you've now got the correct information. So do with that what you shall, my friend.
Yeah, so if the information that I gave out 2 days ago was misconstrued or misinterpreted, then I can only apologize for the fact that it was misconstrued or misinterpreted. My intention was not to provide false information. My intention was to promote the 12.5.
Can you not see? He's got a lot on his mind right now.
Yeah, I've got the whole of Christmas on my head.
Yeah.
But the point still stands. It's only a 2.5K, and you can have a maximum of 4 of them.
Yeah. Facts, my friend.
Factoids, mate. Factoids.
Factoids.
Louis saying he took an EU sell.
Oh, nice. Where to? In fact, I'm on EU now. Let's know where from.
So he did. So the EU says, Louis says, EU sell entry at 1.17897. Stop loss at 1.1796.
Whoa. Hang on. 1.17897.
7. Okay, and then the stop loss is at 117,966.
1.17966.
966. And then take profit is at 117,829.
Hang on. 117,829. 117,829. Why are you trying?
Yeah.
What's it doing? Leave me alone. Let me put in the correct details. 17829.
What's going on with your... Click the buttons, mate, if you have to.
Dude, what on earth is it doing? 178. What? Right. 1.1. Oh my days! This is.
Dude, did you click the numlock button?
I don't think I have. Or have I? 1.1. Oh my days! I actually think I must have. Surely. No, numlock on, numlock off.
Okay, so I've got it up on my chart. I've got the trade up on my chart.
The minute you said that, I've now done it. Screw it. It's on your chart now. We'll do that. Oh my days. This is what I mean by teething issues, guys. I need to get the teething issues out the way with. Stressful. Right. Okay. Right. Let's move on to your chart. I managed to sort it in the end, but.
So you said roughly 7 minutes ago this information, so it would have to have at least been 7 minutes. So these are 5-minute candles, so at least let's say 1440 was the earliest moment that you could have entered, but the price wasn't there. So let's give you a minute to a minute and a half. So on this candle theoretically is where you probably entered, or potentially to the left. But I'm just going to assume it's this one because it is the one that basically had a very slight area of consolidation, very tiny, an attempt to break and a retest and then continue lower. For a scalp, I like this because the idea is that you're staying within the bounds. So that is the lower bound of this consolidation that we have on the on London, and this is the upper end where you've also have consolidation with a break. So I like this. For a tiny, quick little scalping trade, I like this. I think this is pretty good.
Yeah, nice. I don't like that previous wick, though. That's the only thing that worries me. Yeah, it's the previous wick. If we can close below that previous wick, I mean, if we can close below the previous wick, he's probably going to hit TP. But if we close below that previous wick, then I'd have a bit more confidence in that trade.
I like it. I think it's groovy.
CC, I love your hat. Wait, whose hat? Do you like my elf hat?
Mine. It's mine.
Oh, my ears. It's so itchy though. Like my forehead is so itchy right now.
Yakurta Helen is asking, how will we trade to the 4 times 2.5k? Can we manage the trading altogether, merged into a 10k, or separately? They're going to have to be separately because they're individual accounts. So you can have 4 individual 2.5k accounts. So you'll have to do it separately. But what you can do is you can put them all on a copier.
Yeah.
And then you can manage them the same way.
I use the 9, 20, and 200 EMA. I like the 20 EMA. I haven't really used the 9, but I love the 200 EMA. I only like the 200 EMA for like my swing trading strategy though.
So 9, 20, and 200, yeah?
Yes. Also, guys, 63 likes. Come on, only a couple more likes. Only like 37 more likes to go. So 37 more likes. Let's smash out that like button. And let's get to 100 likes. We got 9 minutes before I say Merry Christmas, you filthy animals, and head off. Okay,
so you're talking about breaking lower once all of them are lower than the 200. So once the 9 and the... So the blue one here is the 9, the green is the 20, and then the red one is the 200. So...
Yeah, crossover on the 1 minute.
1 minute. Ooh.
Ooh la la.
Ah.
Okay, yeah, okay, I see. Yeah, that's nice. I like that on the 1 minute. So you're waiting for it to stay under the 200 EMA, and then you want the crossover on to the lower time, to the lower, and then you sell it. I'm guessing you want under the 200 EMA, and then you want a crossover of the 9 underneath the 20, and then that's where you're gonna be looking at selling.
But you want it to happen when it's already under the 200, because you had a crossover here, but the price was above the 200 EMA. But then eventually it started pushing lower.
I was gonna say maybe you could like add in as a confluence like a break of structure of a consolidation, or a break of structure of some form of zone, and then you could have a crossover from the 9 underneath the 20, whilst underneath the 200, whilst breaking structure and continuing down in order flow. That would be really nice, and then you're just adding confluences to back up your trade idea. I mean, you may take less trades though. I don't know, Louis. I don't know how often you trade, but you may take less trades. But I feel like that could increase your value of your trade setups.
Yeah, I have this zero lag MA that is on the 20. So if I just hide the EMAs, you'll see that this thicker line at the bottom is the 20 EMA, and then it's got a you can almost think of it as an EMA of the EMA, and it's the calculation basically works on it's the EMA or the price minus the price minus the EMA. So those ones together. So if I have the EMAs on, you'll see that the 9 EMA is very close to this upper end of this little cloud, and I used to use something similar to what you're using right now, Louis, with this, just kind of like to show the potential for momentum shifts and how volumetric the momentum shift is. So in general, if the price is pushing higher than this whole cloud, there's stronger movement. If it is if the two lines are consolidating closer to each other or converging closer to each other, like it is doing over here, it tends to be a little bit more sideways action. And then eventually, if you start getting, like volumetric movement, it's not saying volumetric, but a little bit more momentum in one or two directions, then it tends to expand away from each other. So it's the equivalent of using the 20 and the 9, if you imagine. It's very close.
Yeah, nice. Guys, we just hit 70 likes. Let's keep smashing that out. 30 more likes, and we hit our target of 100 likes. We've got 6 minutes to go. 6 minutes, can we get 30 likes? Let's absolutely smash that like button, guys. And do subscribe if you are new here. 2.5k limit is two per individual account according to your website. Bro, we're not support. We're just reading out the information that we've been given. If you have any questions or queries, or you're a bit worried about anything, honestly, dude, speak to support. Speak to the support. Don't beat up the messenger.
Like I said, I take the information straight from
The horse.
from our team, and it's there. You can purchase up to 4 accounts per user. Like I said, if it's different to what we have been telling you on your hub, take it up with support. I think that is
100%.
the best way for you to get clarity, clarification and clarity on that issue.
Exactamundo. Louis saying, yeah, I don't usually, sorry, right, let's try that again. Yeah, I don't use it stubbornly. It's just a confluence with the S&D areas, supply and demand areas, sometimes fibs, so I do trade dynamically, really. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I like that then. Yeah, I rate that a lot.
I also like the idea of not having a clean chart. I like having a clean chart.
Yeah, so do I. I think like a messy chart is a messy mind. Very similar to like your bedroom growing up. They always used to say, you can tell what a kid's like, or you can tell what a young adult's like based on their bedroom. Messy bedroom, messy life, messy brain. Same goes with a car. A guy's car, messy brain, messy life. A guy's house or a person's house, messy car, messy brain, messy life. Very much with trading as well. Messy chart, messy brain, messy life, usually chaotic, a little bit unorganized. So that's why I really like having simple chart, naked chart, just no very minimal stuff going on, so I can just analyze and see clearly without too much noise and fog.
Yeah. I just, what I wanted to say was just that if you have an indicator that takes that mental process away from you having to visually look for certain something. Let's say hypothetically like what Louis is doing, and he likes having the EMAs on the 1 minute as an example. You can see roughly where the price would be if you just kind of like, if you've been in the market long enough, you can kind of like gauge how close or how far price is from, for argument's sake, an EMA. So in this case, we're running on the upper end, but it makes sense because the previous, how many 200 bars or whatnot, we have been bullish. So it makes sense. But anyway, so whatever you can do to make your trade itself a little bit easier for yourself, simplifying it ever so slightly. And if it means putting up an EMA, by all means, do it.
100%. Yeah, I really rate the people who find indicators to make what they do anyway easier. What I don't rate is those who look for indicators to make their life easier, So like, if you're looking at an EMA, but then you got, if you looked at an indicator and then you got rid of the indicator and then you don't know what you're doing, I don't really rate that. It's like, you don't know what you're looking at. You're solely relying on this indicator. Whereas if you use an indicator just to make your life easier, I really rate that. Like, you can flood your chart full of indicators if you want to, as long as if you took all them indicators away, you'd still understand what's going on. Like, those indicators are there to make your life easier, not to do it for you. And I think there's a big discretion, and I think a lot of people misuse indicators.
I think the way that I view indicators is like this. An indicator is a visual representation of what is already on the chart.
Yeah.
So if you remove the indicator is not giving you new information. It's taking what is there. That's why, for argument's sake, if you just look at a regular EMA, they ask you the input, what's the source? The source in this case is going to be the close, as an example. So it needs a source, meaning it needs the information that's on the screen in order for it to plot itself.
Yeah, exactly. So it needs to know what you want to see on the screen. So it's already asking you, what do you want to see? So it's already asking you in the settings, what do you want me to do to make your life easier? That is what an indicator is asking you.
But like I said, like the more experience you have on the charts, the more you can see it without the need for the indicator.
Yeah, 100%. Well, let's see, for example, with the fib. I go on stream every single day, and I'm like, oh, there looks like a nice fib zone here. This looks like it could be my golden zone. I'll draw it up, and it'll be perfect within a pip or two of my golden zone, of my fib pullback. The more experience you get, the better you become. Like, for example, Richard Butler uses his sessions. He's clearly got sessions indicator marked out there, but Rich, if I deleted those sessions now, are you going to tell me your life's going to fall apart and you're no longer going to become a profitable trader?
No. I just use it so that I can see what was
Exactly.
the
So
previous
right now,
sessions,
could
highs and
you
lows.
plot up your sessions start and end, highs and lows?
Yeah.
Exactly.
I will be able to do that because I know where it starts. So
Yeah,
session
you know where it starts, you know where it ends, and you can identify the high and the low of that session. So therefore, you do not need that indicator. However, you use that indicator. Why? Because it's so much less effort than drawing it up yourself. Like, look how much time this has taken, and you've only done the high and the low. You know, you've just done the high and the low. You've not, you've not drawn out the box and all that garbage, and you've got 3 more sessions to do, or technically 4 more sessions to do. So you don't want to be doing that every single day, day in, day out. So what do? You use an indicator because you're using nothing different to what you do anyway. You're just saving yourself time, and that's the luxury of what an indicator does.
So there's London and Tokyo.
Yeah, nice. Bosh, there you go, just like that. You didn't need an indicator. The indicator is solely saving you time.
Yes.
And
so
that is what we use indicators for.
When each one opens up, I know when I want to look for what, but this is just a vision. And the nice thing is when you do have something like an indicator like this, you can add extra information. What was the change in pip? What was the change percentage? What is the open close line? And then, okay, maybe I should just switch that on as well over here. Where is it? Here we go, session labels. It'll give you the information there. Okay, it was a 0.17% change from the high to the low, and it's a 42.9 pip move, so a 429 point move as an example. You can have this information there visually if it helps you, by all means. But I think when it comes to trading indicators or using indicators within your trading, the problem comes in when people base their whole strategy around an indicator as an example. Now imagine this. I know it's a very unlikely scenario, but imagine you have an indicator that you're paying for. It is Lux Algos, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You're paying a monthly subscription. What if they decide, hey, listen, we're canceling this now. You cannot use this indicator anymore. You're going to have to go and trade without that indicator now, and will you be able to? So the indicator just assists, but don't base your whole strategy around a single indicator. I think it's better to try and understand how the market
100%. Use the indicator as a confluence, but don't rely on an indicator because, like you just said, if they cancel that, or if the indicator gets banned or disappears or binned, then you're screwed. Same goes. An indicator could potentially put its fees up extortionately, and then you can no longer afford that indicator. Next minute.
The same thing with trading signals.
Yeah, 100%.
When that signal service goes down, you can't trade.
Yeah, 100%. It's no different to I think signals is a similar concept, but a little bit different. I don't recommend anyone uses signals at all, but if you are going to use them, very much exact same as Richard just said here. However, signals can also sometimes be used as tools. You can use signals as tools to understand potentially where profitable traders are. If you're almost certain this trader is a profitable trader, instead of copying their signals, maybe plot their trades up. Maybe grab their signal and plot it up, and then try and understand how they're seeing the market and be like, oh, okay, so I kind of see why they've plotted this trade up. Don't actually copy the signal. More times than not, even the most profitable traders in the world will not, the people following their signals usually will not trade profitably following them because there's so many contributing factors. There's just so many differences. However, if you can plot the trade up, eventually you can start to figure out their strategy and you can start to understand how they think and how they see the markets. So there is pros and cons to signals groups.
Like Wyckoff Trader is saying, most indicators are a mathematical calculation, formulas, measuring tools. Exactly that.
Yeah.
it's a calculation, but the calculations are based on the information that's on the screen. And the thing is, the majority, if not all, indicators require the data to come out first, and then it can do its calculation, and then it shows you that information or plots it in this case.
Yeah, literally.
So it will almost always be lagging. The information requires other information to
You
come
can
out
have
first.
less laggy ones, I suppose, but every single indicator is a lagging indicator.
And that's why I said, like, the majority are lagging. There might be one that proves to be predictive, but even that predictive one is based on mathematical calculations and assumptions.
Yeah.
So
Anyone that says that their indicator is a predictive, not a lagging indicator, I would stay clear from.
Okay, but consider this. It's not predicting where it will go, it's predicting where it could go. So it usually
I'd be vigilant. I'd still be vigilant.
So it will do something like this as an example, and it'll show you based on how the previous movements were, that if it were to move, there is a likelihood that if it were to move,
like this, like A and B, like here's the buy sell potential scenarios of A, B happening. Here's most likely, here's less likely, for example. Yeah, I suppose.
That's what I mean. It's not predictive, like, oh, the next number is going to be 12. It's not that.
Yeah, I mean, I'd still be vigilant, but I suppose, there is that. Also, really cool comment coming out here from Hexam saying, hope one day I can be like you guys, bro. 100%, man. You know, I see why you'd say that, and I'm, super grateful for what you've just said, and thank you very much for the kind words. But don't strive to be like me and Rich. Strive to be like the profitable version of yourself. Me and Rich have our own cons. We have our own flaws. Sometimes you see them, sometimes you don't. But we have our own things that, we have negativities when it comes to the trading market. Just be a profitable version of yourself. I think it was, oh my God, every time I quote this guy, I forget his bloody name. And you help me out with his name every single time. Acted in Wolf of Wall Street.
Which one? Leonardo DiCaprio?
No, the other one.
Oh, Matthew McConaughey.
Matthew McConaughey, thank you. Matthew McConaughey once said, I do not have... What did he say? Basically, my goal is me in 10 years' time, me in 2 years' time, me in 5 years' time, and I really resonate with that. Try and be yourself in 10 years' time. And who is that person? What does that person look like? So what does Hex in 10 years' time look like? And think, right, okay, Hex in 10 years' time is going to be a profitable trader. Okay, cool. What does a profitable trader look like? He looks like this. Can I do this in 5 years' time? I think so. But in 5 years' time, what have I got to implement by year 2? What does year 2 look like for Hex as a profitable trader? And how can I be Hex in 2 years' time now? Who have I got to be now to make Hex in 2 years' time that person? And then in 2 years' time, readdress it. 5 years to 10 years. And before you know it, you've smashed it out, and you are exactly who you have ever dreamed you wanted to become. Also, Winter, hello. Yo, what's good, Winter? How are you doing? Make sure also you guys smash out that like button. You're up there now. Make sure you smash out that like button. And make sure you do subscribe. In fact, how many likes have we got now? It's got to be close to 80, surely. 81, guys. 81 likes. That's amazing. Thank you so much for the support, guys. Make sure that you do subscribe here. And like I said, the goal is 100 likes. We've got 19 likes now until we get to 100 likes. So please keep smashing that like button. And if you are new here, subscribe. And if you're finding value in Richard and Will's analysis today, the best Christmas gift you can give the channel is simply like on the stream. 100%.
Here's an interesting way of looking at it.
Ho, 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 ho. Ho, ho, Merry Victor. How are you doing?
Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
How are you doing, Victor?
Hello, everyone. How are you two doing? And everyone watching us today, it's a great day. It's Christmas Eve.
The day before Christmas.
The day before Christmas. Yes, it is. And the market is still offering opportunities. Are you guys in any trades right now?
No, nothing. No, I'm now done until Monday. So this is, I thought I'd wait for you to show up and say hello to you, Victor, because I wanted to wish you a Merry Christmas and a very successful New Year, but I'll see you before the New Year. So Merry Christmas, Victor, and yourself, Richard Butler. Merry Christmas. It's been an absolute pleasure streaming with you peeps. However, I'm going to skedaddle now because I haven't eaten today. I can feel my stomach kicking me. So I'm going to go munch on some food. I have no idea what I'm going to have. Maybe I'll take some inspiration from Jonathan and have some chicken. Who knows? But for now, guys, I hope the big fat man comes down your chimney tonight, and I hope you are all on the good list. If you've wished for a profitable trading strategy, then he's still diving in Richard's brain looking for one, but I'm sure he will find one at some point. Guys, thank you so much for joining. Merry Christmas, each and every single one of you. Positive vibes only. Spend some time with family. Go touch some grass or some snow if it is snowing where you are. Stay away from the charts on Christmas Day, guys. All the markets are going to be closed other than the crypto market. Stay away probably until Monday, where you get to see us back as business as usual all over again. So, guys, thank you so much. Merry Christmas, and ho, 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 I am out of here. I'm going to love you and leave you. Take care. See you all later. Victor, I shall see you in the next one as well.
See you, William. Thank you. Merry Christmas to you as well. From here, from this undisclosed location where I am sending my best wishes to you and everyone else. Awesome. Will, as always, vivid, energized, lively. Will is such a colorful person. I like him a lot. All right. So, Richard,
Yes,
how
sir.
have you been? Upside down pants with Richard.
Upside down pants with Richard. I have been all gravy. I've been good. And yourself?
I've been great. Did my workout at 5 a.m. As I like to do, and ready to have a productive day. I have been having a productive day already.
Oh, that's amazing. That is great. I myself haven't been trading, but it's purely because volatility is and volume is just not there today. We are a little bit sideways, and as you may have remembered, I'm only trading NASDAQ now, and NASDAQ unfortunately is just consolidating as of right now. So I'm just going to make sure that I stick to my trading plan, and that is not today. Today is just not part of the trading plan, so I'm just sitting on my hands.
Okay. Is it always like that, or is there something specific today that your trade plans tells you not to trade today?
Well, we have unemployment news, so a news event, but we have bank holiday, Euro for German. We have NZD, AUD obviously doesn't impact us in this session, but it is the day before Christmas, and there's this idea that everybody is not really mentally there today. Everybody's in the festive spirit, so if you're
not even physically, I think.
Yeah, like maybe like physically there, like somebody might have gotten into the eggnog a little bit. But for me, it's just when it comes to the last 2 weeks of the year, trading, I kind of like start stepping back from trading, and I'll only take a trade if there's a real nice volumetric movement, and I tend to not get it on the 24th, 25th, and 26th. So in that case, I just don't. So once I'm done here, I will most probably go and do something completely else. Everything will be closed. I'm done. I'm done until next week Monday.
Next week Monday?
Yes.
Oh, not next year.
No. I will probably have a look at the market next week Monday. And I'll kind of like see if there's anything there specifically that piques my interest, and if it doesn't, then I'll just sit out until the next year.
Okay. All right. So as I've mentioned yesterday, I know that these days the market is different. The volatility is different. The variability of the volatility is different, and that may not suit everyone's strategy. In my case, automatically, or at least I don't know, naturally already the frequency of the trades, the signals, the setup, the structures, they will adapt to the situation. So I just sit and wait to see if I get a signal. I'd have no limitation whatsoever to trade on
Mm.
this day. Of course, the any limitation there is, it's self-imposed, because you simply, we want to be maybe not trade today. It's the Christmas Eve. Maybe you have things to do, presents to buy, or sending lists to Santa Claus what you want to get for Christmas. Maybe you did that already. But in any case, trading may not be your priority today, and for a good reason, right? You might be getting ready for spending quality time with family and extended family. But in trading wise, I have no issues at all based on the data to trade today. So
Mm.
if it presents, I'm actually I'm available to trade, then I should trade. There's no reason for me not to do so.
Mm.
But we will be looking at the market, because the market is, as you can see on my chart, is at a interesting, to say the least, interesting place on the daily time frame, and of course the intraday structures and setups are great. They are, most frequent. That's where I got uh, most trades. But the daily time frame allows me to get an intraday trade and expand it to become a swing trade. And these are the bigger profits, the bigger chances, the bigger opportunity. So whenever we have, as you can see on the chart, a entry order block, or a fresh one on the daily time frame, then I'm listening up. I'm paying more attention, because it means I can win some big trades, and I don't want to miss that. So that's today. But so far it has not. It hasn't, and maybe it may not today, but it is. There is a chance it might develop into a setup later today, and then if not, then maybe by Monday we will see if there's something to do. I will not be trading. I don't. I will. If there's a signal, I'll take it. But it's not like I'm gonna be. I have to trade today. I don't have to. I don't have to do
Yeah.
anything.
That's exactly how I view it as well. Like, I don't have to trade today. Technically, my mind is not all that much by the market already. I'm already on holiday. So I don't want to force anything. And the idea is I want to continue following well thought out, well traded trades. And if I'm not in the right mindset, then I'm just doing myself disservice by trying to force a trade. So we all kind of like need that little downtime, that little step away from the market. And for me, it's just I trade almost every single day of the year. And I don't think I have been on holiday in the last 5 years. So now is as good a time as any, just to kind of like put feet up and just say, you know what, I'm on holiday now. I don't want to look at the market. So, but to each his, as they say, to each his own. Victor.
Yes, of course.
Before I leave you, Maya is asking how many pairs do you guys look out for trading at Victor and at Richard? I'll answer for myself, obviously. I have changed the way I used to look at EU, GU, and gold. I have changed my approach to focusing on a singular asset. I'm only focusing on NASDAQ at the moment. Up until NASDAQ doesn't provide me with what I'm looking for, and then I will look for a different asset that provides me with that. But for the time being, I'm only looking at NAS and or US Tech in this case, and that's what I'm looking for or focusing.
You said Maya is asking that question?
Yes, that was 4 minutes ago. Maya Trader.
4 minutes ago. Let me check Maya Trader. Okay. Okay. Yeah. How many pairs do you guys look for trading? Okay. All right. So then that means that it's my turn to answer. I trade the majority, the vast majority of my trades are based on EU and GU. I will take both of them even together. I mean, at the same time, they may have overlaps. no reason, even though they both have US dollar in the pair as a currency, I can still take them. It will have some kind of, it's not some kind of, it will have somewhat of a correlation. But I tested it out. It's okay. So I take EU and GU, and I will dab a little bit into gold and any pair that will have a good alignment. But I don't scan the other pairs necessarily. I do trade them, by the way, with other strategies, because I have more than one strategy that I'm employing. But on my manual order block combined with quasi strategy, the one that I talk about, I do. It's only those two, or mainly these two pairs, with a little bit of gold and a sprinkle of the other 26 pairs left. And on the other pairs, on the other strategies, I trade all of them, all the pairs, because it's algorithmic, it's automated. So there's not the limitation for me to only trade EU and GU is the human limitation. That's the truth. It's because I cannot focus humanly. It's not humanly possible to focus on 28 pairs, and each of them being in different phases of developing a setup. And sometimes it takes some time. I can see it come for in a couple of hours before it actually sets up. But a lot of time, the setup starts developing and it stalls. And I need to keep watching it, because anytime it can progress into, further into a setup or regress. And that means that basically I will have to check all 28 pairs, every so many minutes sometimes. And maybe not all of them every so many, maybe majority of them every hour, and maybe 10 of them or maybe 15 of them every 5 or 10 minutes. And that's way too much for me. And it suits me to just focus on a few, so that I can devote my time adequately without spreading myself too thin, and still being able to capture every signal that I'm supposed to be capturing. So, but if I didn't have that, if I were to code my strategy completely, which I haven't done yet, then I would be able to trade, not only the 28 pairs of Forex, but other asset classes as well. So there you go. That's my answer.
The quality of that attention starts lowering the more you add to your watch list. Because for me, the streaming is one thing. You have a lot of things that you need to pay attention to. You usually go on a tangent, you kind of like go into a discussion point, and you go in there for a while. And sometimes you completely miss your setup because it's happening as you're maybe looking at a different chart. That kind of, it happens. And the thing is, the more things you have to take notice of, the more details you miss, or the more frequently you start missing some details. And I think even for beginners, beginner traders, try and focus on a selected amount of pairs or assets to look at, and kind of just focus on that until you get to the point where you're comfortable looking at more than one, as an example, or more than two, more than three, that kind of like thing. Don't spread yourself too thinly, because you're learning different things from different markets, and sometimes you can get confused and you can apply a different strategy on the wrong market because, for different reasons. But the point still stands that I think in general, less is more. So focus on bringing it in and then expanding once you're comfortable with just that one.
Forgot about Ray21 is asking if applying from Pakistan is possible. As far as I know, Pakistan is not on the list of not allowed countries. I'm sure there's a list there, which they fall under international, restricted countries. I don't think Pakistan is one of them. I don't think so. No. So of course I'm not supporting. So forget about Ray. Please double check what we are saying here, because we're not support. We are traders, just like you. So check the support on the website. But
Mm.
as far as I know, I think Pakistan is all good. Is all good. You're all welcome to come in. And by the way, I see you have posted. Forget about Dre. You have posted about 6 times the same question. Watch out! If you do that, money a lot of times we will forget about you. So watch out. Um, let's see.
Yeah.
We have a couple of questions here. Marina saying Merry Christmas. That's not a question. That's a wish. Marina, Merry Christmas to you too. And everyone else watching. If you're getting jealous because we're saying Merry Christmas to Marina specifically, don't be jealous. It's also to you, to everyone.
Yeah,
Um,
it's extended. It's extended to
yes.
everyone. Yes.
hmm
Even
We're
if you
being
don't
generous here.
Christmas or participate.
Yes.
Merry Christmas to you in any way.
Christmas to you as well. We have Kim the Bear saying hi. Hello, Kim. Hi. Merry Christmas to you too. And we have someone, Papacito. Papacito saying welcome. Welcome to you, Papacito, as well. Actually, you welcome, he said. So, Merry Christmas to you. All right. So let's take a look at. I think I saw a question. Was it this one? Did we discuss this already? Did you guys? Or maybe no. This was
No.
before, after I came in because it says Victor as well. So maybe you could take a look at it and see what you think of this. Let us overstand.
Let us overstand instead of understand.
Oh, let us. Oh, of course. So I was thinking about lotus, like lotus stand.
Yeah, like flower. Yeah.
Let us overstand. Okay. Okay, got it.
Yeah, I'll answer this, and then I'm going to love and leave you, and then I have to go because I also have one of two things I need to do before Christmas Day. So we've got some cooking to do.
Cooking.
Yes.
What are you cooking?
All kinds of goodies. We're making stuff called milk tart. We're making brownies.
Okay.
We are making banana toffee tarts, and then we're making a bunch of tapas, a bunch of small little meals for tomorrow. So
you must be good in the kitchen. Many recipes I'm completely unknown to.
I am a very good listener. So I follow directions. So my wife is really good at cooking. So I just listen. If she says blend something, I blend it. If she says cut something, I cut it.
You're the assistant cook.
Yes, very very much so. But don't leave me in the kitchen alone. I might just burn something.
Hopefully not those pans.
No. These are gonna be safeguarded. Let us understand. Have two questions. If we talk about forex pairs and gold, at what time exactly can we consider the markets opening, like opening bell for NASDAQ and the US equities market? So, from my point of view, when it comes to forex, it's always open. So, there's always buys and sells going into the market. There isn't a specific bell that's ringing. Now, in general, you have Mondays to Fridays where forex pairs are being traded. Over the weekend, technically, they're not being traded. However, if you go to an airport and you're flying into a different country, you can exchange your capital that you have on hand at that local exchange, and that is still forex trading, effectively. But what is happening is you're getting a price that has been set for that weekend, basically, and then on the Monday, that might change again. So in general, forex trading is 24/7, maybe just not on the terminal 24/7. When it comes to the bell, and we're talking about sessions, that's the stock market that we're referring to in general. So that bell is the stock market, like in this case, like you're talking about the NASDAQ and the US equities market. That is generally when the hedge funds and large banks and whatnot officially open up their trading of the day. And that's when we talk about sessions. And that's how I view it. Forex, pretty much 24/7. Even if you're traveling overseas, going to a local exchange, you can still exchange monetary currencies for other ones. That's how I view it. And then just the market open, it's just when the big players are going in and they're trading the futures, they're going in, they're trading their options and all of that stuff specifically for that session. That's how I view it. Like I might be completely wrong in this, but that's how I've always seen it. That's how I've always understood it. Let's rather say.
I think you're completely wrong, Richard. The bell that the user, what was the name again of the
Let us
one
overstand.
asking the question? Let us overstand. Yes, the bell that let us overstand is talking about is the jingle bells. That's the bell you need to be watching for opening the market. It is almost Christmas, so it is the right answer is jingle bells. What are you? You're saying no bells? That's nothing. That's not possible. It's almost
I
Christmas.
must have misunderstood. I think my brain is being filled with too much of this guy's tinkering, and I'm busy losing oxygen to my brain.
No, of course the we're playing here. The forex market is 24/5, and that means that there is no opening bell every day as the equity market has. There is if you're going to be applying opening hour opening range strategies, that's not going to work, at least not the same way, because there is no opening bell, there is no jingle bells. Jingle bells will be the background music you will hear, but it's not going to be something that we're going to be trading off. There is, however, something slightly similar, which is the opening of the sessions. And it's not a bell, it's just the clock. It is the beginning of London session, which is the first of every day, the first surge of volatility, of volume, which is similar with the opening bell, but it's not a minute. It's it's about 2 hours where you have any time during that 2 hours you can see influxes of large transactions, volume, and you can apply the opening strategies, opening range strategies to the market, to the forex market, but you'll have to adapt it because it's, as I said, it's not a single minute. You can start doing it from, I don't know, maybe 9 a.m. London time or 8 a.m. London time for an hour, for half an hour, 50 minutes. You have to look, depending on your strategy, which, where you place that window of trading. But there is effectively, there is no opening bell. There is none. Market is decentralized. And it's 24 hours for 5 days a week, and even on the beginning on Sunday, the beginning of each week, there is no. It's the clock. There's no. For all intents and purposes, that's not the opening as you refer to it, like comparing to the equities, where you have a lot of traders coming to the market right away and wanting to transact large sums of money. At the beginning of the week, the very few minutes, you'll have wide spreads. No one is really interested in that first couple of minutes until things settle down. And even then, it's going to be the Asian session when you have low volatility. It's not, maybe it is for your strategy the best time of the day to trade, but for most people, they need volatility, they need influxes, they need structures, they need trend, they need impulses, and all of that momentum. And you're only going to get that with volume. And those volumes begin at they start coming in at the beginning of the two sessions we have, which is with the highest volume London session and then New York session. And New York session is actually even a little bit more interesting because the London session is still open. So you will have the New York session being open, New York traders, getting to the market while London is still active, meaning you have an overlap of a couple of hours where you have a lot of some people say manipulation, but a lot of volume coming in the market doing great moves. So I would say the beginning of these two sessions is if you're looking for surges in volatility, influx of traders, those are the two times you should be looking at the market to find that opening bell, quote unquote, that you're looking for.
Victor, I have just received the signal. So
Cookies is calling you.
Yes, I need
Cookies
to go back.
and banana tarts.
Yes, I will post a photo on our WhatsApp group. I will post a photo of what it looks like. Have you heard of milk tart?
Milk tart?
Yes.
No, I haven't.
Okay,
Milk tart. No, I haven't.
I will provide a photo of that. It's basically thickened milk custard, which you then bake on a biscuit-like base, and then you add cinnamon, but it's very creamy, it's very sweet, it's very tasty. And then banana pudding or banana toffee is also the same tart, but you use a lot of like dolce vice and bananas, and then it's also sweet and caramel, like almost like a toffee. That's also baked onto a.
You're making me hungry, Richard. Keep going.
Well, that's the intention. I'm trying to make you hungry. And then brownies. I know you know what brownies are. They are just
of course. Who doesn't know what brownies are?
Yes, but we make special brownies. I'm joking. We don't.
Oh, special? What do you? This is a PG-13 kind of a stream, Richard. We don't have special brownies here.
Special because it's made with love.
Ah, oh, that kind of special. I understand.
Yes, Victor.
Yes.
Very, very Merry Christmas to you and to your family, and I do hope that you have just the best holiday ever. And then I will see you on Monday. But before I go, you wanted to ask something.
No, I actually didn't want to ask anything necessarily, but I wanted to wish you well as well, to you, your family, your future generation as well. A Merry Christmas. May it be a lovely time where you spend time with your family and you come energized back to the markets, because as always, you're very energized, and you get maybe. Well, I'll see you before next year, so I'll wait for my wishes until then. With that little nudge from your ankle, your upper ankle.
Yes, this little nudge here.
Thank you, Rich. Have a lovely, lovely time cooking banana tarts and milk tarts, and send us a couple of pictures. Let us know how these, maybe a little video, maybe a little reel, maybe a little short into how they do these cooking on Instagram. They take in a spoon, and almost everyone. You don't see anyone getting it and say, "Oh, that's awful." Most of them say it's delicious. Oh, what a wonderful thing! Maybe it is, maybe it isn't.
Liars.
Yeah, how this is heavenly, even if it isn't. But send us maybe a little short with some feedback on your culinary, performance.
Well,
Very
definitely not mine, but more my assistants.
Well, I think you can take a little bit of credit for them, right?
I'm good with knives. I can chop up anything for you very, very quickly. But how good I chop it up is always in question.
Yeah, you mean food, right? Food.
Say again.
You mean edibles?
And that
you said you can. You said you can chop up anything. I mean, you're referring to edibles, right?
Yes, edible things.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Not inanimate objects. I only chop up adamant objects. To chat, guys, you will have maybe the pleasure or displeasure, I don't know, of having my company tomorrow. So for everybody that is going to rock up tomorrow, come with your questions, come with your good vibes. If you're not going to be there, by all means, enjoy your holiday day, Christmas Day with your family and your friends. And Victor, with that, I will see you on Monday. I hope you have a lovely day further. Cheers, guys.
Same to you, Richard. Thank you very, very much. Upside down pants, Rich. I love your hat. Have a wonderful day.
Bye.
I don't think that that knee is supposed to bend that way. It's almost. Thank you for that. All right, so let's see if we can move. All right, so here we are. Let's double check the chat to see how you guys are doing. Merry Christmas to everyone. It is Christmas Eve. I hope, even if you're not celebrating Christmas, I wish you, we at the Fiver wish you the very best holidays in front of us. All right, I'm going to go through the chat to see if there's any questions. And in the meantime, I will let me check here. I have to do a couple of things in the background so that things can flow nicely. All right, so let's double check here. So the before we do so, I'm gonna go to, before we go to the questions, I'll go just a little bit into the market, in breaking down EU and telling you guys what I'm looking for. So on the higher time frames, just to get you up to speed, we have a huge reaction or a huge pattern. Let me use the arrow, left shoulder, neckline, head, breaks. This is the low of the range, and this is actually the highest a little bit before. This is the head. This is also a quasi, but this is the biggest one, right? This is the top and the low of the range. Left shoulder, the head, first right shoulder, and potentially second one. And you have the neckline right here. Because this quasi is the biggest one, that's the one you want to be looking for. So that quasi leaves us or gives us two entry order blocks, and you can see them from a mile away. That's one, and number two. Currently we're interacting with number two, and whenever we're interacting with an entry order block, you want to be ready for that possible alignment coming in, and then price reacting, reversing, going the opposite direction. Meaning we want to be ready for if the market decides to do this movement, right? Not the movement of going back in time, as my arrow indicated, but this movement where the market reacts off of this entry order block on the monthly time frame. So let's take a look on the weekly if that's setting up. So far, it isn't, right? The quasi on the weekly hasn't broken structure yet. So this would be the left shoulder, the head, the neckline, which hasn't been broken. And until it's been broken, you can't assume, or there's no indication that the market is going to reverse and reverse this trend that it's coming from. So that's EU on the weekly. So there's no alignment yet on the monthly with the weekly. There's only the monthly reason to go short, but no weekly yet. And you need to wait for that alignment if you want to have highest probability trades. On the daily, so forgetting about the weekly and the monthly, we have a head, left shoulder, neckline, takes all the way down to that point again that I indicated, and that leaves us with one entry order block on the quasi, which is this gray area here, or gray shaded area, blue kind of a shaded area that we are now interacting. We had one candle or one retest, and we're now on the second retest. I say second retest as if it matters. It doesn't really matter how many retests it does, because as long if it is part of a quasi, it doesn't get stale. Meaning, it doesn't have to be fresh. It doesn't have to be the first retest necessarily. It can be the second and the third, as long as this area that I indicated, as long as it's still valid, then it's good to go. So we are currently retesting for the second time, revisiting this area, and it's gonna be interesting, and that's what I was referring to, because we have a reason for the market to reverse from this level. We have a reason, doesn't mean it's going to happen, but it is, it's a possibility that if indeed it decides to reverse from there, then it will give us some great opportunities for the market, since it's being the daily time frame. All right, let me check again on the 4 hour. So the daily has a reason. You can start looking for on the H4. If before the daily actually signals, you can check if the H4 gives you a reason to a setup, and if it does, maybe and you get a signal, you get the entry, and it does move in your favor, maybe the daily comes in at the end of the day, and you can hold that trade for much longer. Meaning if it's on the H4, maybe you're only going for the intraday target, but if the daily looks to be going to be signaling or confirming as well later on, then you can leave a portion of that for maybe a day, two, or maybe even a small week for a much bigger target. So that's the H4, and the H4 is not giving us anything. Look at this. We had yesterday a fresh order block created. That order block has been invalidated, meaning the market is still telling us that the buyers are in control, and the likely direction, or the easier direction for the market to go, is up. We have a fresh order block that was created on top of another fresh order block, which is this baby here, which was an outside bar. This is the H4, so I'll mark it as such, H4 order block, and this one as well, H4. Since this one has already been retested, and it's no longer, let's see, it's still fresh, but it's done its job, we can move it out of the way and have only the most recent one, this is the area on the H4 that the market should react bullishly from, meaning it comes from above, and we will see it throwing some reversal patterns likely, and then reverse back to some higher prices. That's the assumption, of course. So we have a opportunity to go long here if price comes in. Let's see if we have more reasons to do so. There is a H2 order block here, but it's already almost getting not fresh. Let me see if I can mark it and count the candles. 4, 6, 8, 9. It looks like it's not going to get there before 10, so that's likely not going to be a trade. And on the hourly, it's already not fresh. So this is the area, but the area is not giving us any alignment on the hourlies yet to take a trade long from it. And let's see if we have a short from this area, which is actually a bit more interesting because of that daily entry order block. So we have nothing here. We could have something in about 12 minutes and almost 13 minutes, which is this H4 right here. And let's go see if on the H2 we can find something of actually there is a little bar, a little structure here, which I'm interested in. If price comes back to this area, then I might be able to get in. Let's see. All right. So this area to me is interesting. If it gets there, we might get a trade on Christmas Eve. Now, if it gets set up, I will take the trade, maybe even live with you guys. Let me check. Let me mark it as such. This will be the area that I'll be looking for. The market has to come back, touch this area before I even start looking for an entry. Okay. So that's the area. And if I did take a trade here, I would look for an entry. Yes, I think I would be targeting this H1 structure right here, meaning that means that my entry, my target, will be this, right? So my TP, there we go. That would be my TP, a little bit above it, just to front run the market. But that's only if it gets triggered, it comes back. Only if it does this, something like this, does the quasi or give me another reason, and then I would take it to that order block. If it goes there before reaching the area of interest, then I will not take the trade. So those are the two areas that I would be looking for, long and short. And now let's go back to the questions. Let's take a look. All right. I can even check if there's a quasi already in case it comes back. Since this is the area I want to be trading from, I want to have a quasi include this in the trade. So let's see if I can find one. That's the 5-minute quasi neckline. Let's see. All right, so we have not looking exactly. That's a great quasi. Didn't have alignment at the time. But look at this. Comes back to which area? Which area does it come back? There we go. Look at that. That's the neck, the left shoulder, head, neckline goes down, comes back to one of those two entry order blocks. The first one it didn't react to, but the second one was the one it moved. I can still use this since it is in the same area as the H4. It is actually this structure that created the H4 order block. So I think it's still viable to be used. That means that this could be an entry order block. There we go. All right. And it overlaps the hourlies nicely. If price were to come back here, then I can go and look for an entry to go to the target below. All right. So that's EU. Let's go back to the chat, see how you guys are checking things out on this Christmas Eve. We have, actually, we already had unemployment claims that was about 21 minutes ago. Let's take a look if that did anything to the market. This is the moment the news came out. The unemployment claims, really nothing to write home about. It's business as usual. Has a little bigger candle than otherwise, but nothing major. About 5.4. That's not at all. Just bigger than the rest of the candles, but nothing in here. All right, let's check the chat. See what you guys are up to. All right, let's get this. Remember, guys, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. We have a mission. We are going to reach 100K soon, and the sooner we get there, the sooner we'll have those big giveaways event that we have. When we reached 90, we had 50 accounts being given away. So that's something. If you want to have these events again, then your best way to get there is by subscribing to the channel. Subscribing help us reach that 100K subscribers, so we can organize with these events again and give you the chance of winning accounts, free accounts. You can trade, showcase your skills, and get funding. Up to 4 million in funding. Let's take a look at the chat. I'm a little bit lost here, to be honest, but I'm right there. All right, so let's take a look. Mac Doom Akbar is asking, Victor, what risk reward ratio, I suppose you mean, should we focus for funded account? Great question, Mac. Great question. The answer is, you want, in your funded account, you want to be focusing on the risk reward ratio that you have tested and validated and traded profitably. If you have backtesting data, and it does not matter what risk reward that is, that may be 1-to-1, 1-to-2, negative, meaning it's not actually negative, but it's less than 1, but we call that negative. It might be 0.5, it might be less, it can be more, it can be 1-to-10. There is no magic ratio. The thing is, what you want to be using is the one that you tested, by testing, that has proven to have profitability. That's the right one to focus on your evaluation account, as well as on your funded account, right? In the end, what you want to be using is your edge. And whatever risk reward ratio it is, that's the right one. it sounds like a little bit evasive, my answer, but it isn't. The one that you have tested to be the best, that's the one you need to be using all the time. Not only on your funded account, but on the evaluation in your funded account as well, because that's the one that will give you the best results, right? That's why you tested it. And if you did your testing well, you would know what rules you used and what you used to keep on using going forward, right? Bias, top-down analysis, what time frame, what setups, all of those good stuff. You need to be using them, constantly and consistently if you want to have the same results. All right, let's check. There is, I believe there were a couple more questions here. Um, You're also asking, thank you for those questions. How frequent your trade and time frame plus risk reward. All right, that's perfect. The frequency of my trades, they are around 2, 3, to up to sometimes up to 7, 6, 7, sometimes even 9. But it depends on how many setups trigger per setup. I could have up to 5, no, actually up to 4 entries, but not all of them trigger all the time. So usually it's 2 or 3, and I may have 1 setup a day. I may have 3 setups a day, and so you can get a feeling that it can range between 2, 3, up to 10. Rarely go above 10, but it could, and sometimes I have none. Right, so there you go. And the time frame, well, I don't trade one specific time frame. If you spend some time with us here, and I invite you to, you would notice that I do full top-down analysis all the way from the monthly. I'm looking for alignment. Usually I don't get the alignment all the time. I rarely get the monthly aligned, but I still look for it all the time, monthly, weekly, daily, and then I go to if I don't have anything aligned in there, then I disregard basically that part of the analysis. But if I have at least a daily, then I would be looking for a higher target or a bigger target. And if I don't have the daily, then I will start my intraday trading, or looking for setup for intraday, and that will start always on the H4. I'll have H4 and some other hourly time frames aligned. And if there is alignment and everything is fresh and valid, then I'm allowed to go to the minutes. So as you can see, it's not one time frame that I use, but I let the market, by presenting the setups, letting me know that, and looking for the alignments, that I'm allowed to go to the lower time frame. Because if I randomly go to the 5 minute, the 1 minute, and so on, it's hit and miss a lot of the time. And if I want to be able to get the trades that my trade plans is designed to capture, I have to have a top-down analysis or a top-down process where I don't go to the lower time frame unless the higher time frame, the one that I'm looking, has triggered or has signaled, right? So I start with the H4, go to the H2 or H1, and if I have the alignment that I'll look for, then I will go to the minutes for my actual execution, which would be on the 1, the 2, the 3, and the 5. There's nothing magical about these time frames, but that's just how I do it. You could do it on the 6, on the 4, on the half a minute if you're so inclined to do. So yes, that's the time frame. And the risk reward that I use, it depends on how much of alignment I have. If I don't have the daily, I usually, and depending on how the ranges, how the market structure is, but I usually go for at least 1 to 2 is my bare minimum, but usually it's around 1.1 to 3, 1 to 4 for my intradays, up to 1 to 8, 1 to 9 is possible intraday. with some frequency. But if I have a daily target, then I can multiply that. I can get in and hold that through hold that on for a couple of days and get money much more. It's not to flex, but you can understand if I get in with a small stop of maybe 3 or 4 pips and I hold that for a day or two, I'm looking to gain maybe 60 pips. So you do the math. It's going to be much more than what I just mentioned. And sometimes if the alignment goes all the way to, and you have not a huge but a bigger structure like we have now, I can show you that. Then in that case you can get in on the intraday, on the 1 minute, the 5 minute, and if everything aligns and keeps on aligning and keeps on confirming, doesn't happen all the time, but if it does that, you can hold it maybe for the weekly target, maybe for the weekly range. And you can understand that we're talking about maybe 80, 120 pips, sometimes even more than that, 150 with a few pips stop. So you get the picture. It can the risk reward ratio can balloon up to 1 to 50 sometimes, 1 to anyways, but you get the picture. So it's not just one fixed risk reward ratio value that I'm going after. I'm letting the market tell me by the structure, by price action, whether it's going to likely to continue. And if it does that, then obviously I want to be in that trade. I want to hold it, to the next level on a higher time frame. So not only on the next 1 hour structure or the next 4 hour structure, but the next daily structure, the next weekly structure. And you can understand that it's very, very powerful. It has changed my trading a lot. Once I managed to learn self-taught how to hold those trades longer successfully. All right, and having a process is very important to do so, because it's very, very difficult to hold. I found it to be very difficult to hold a trade when you're already in good profits. Let's say you're 3, 4, 5R in profit, and hold to be able to upgrade that to a bigger target, to let's say 1 to 20. A lot of the time you'll have to be able to tolerate that plus 5R trade will start breathing on another time frame, meaning it can easily come back to +2, +1, even coming back to break even, although that shouldn't happen too often. But that's all within realm of possibilities if you're willing to go if you're aiming for that 1 to 20 or 1 to 15 or even bigger target. So that's something you want to be thinking about, but maybe that's giving you too much information there. But ask those questions. Ask away any questions. Makdoom Akbar, I like that. Or is it Makdoom Akbar? Let's see. Can we look at the gold chart? Yes, we can. I will take a look at the gold chart in a minute or two, if that's okay. Let's take a look. Hi there, Sanji. Sashin Navasare. Hi there, Louise, my man. How are you doing? Nice to meet you as well. Merry Christmas to all of you. There's a question here, very good one. Mad Doom A Chandana, you guys make it very difficult for me to read all of these usernames. Asking, what do you think about automated trading, and how can we find profitable automated trading system? This is a very large question or theme or topic, but I'll try to give you my answer, which could be like 2 minutes. Hopefully it is. I don't think it is, but hopefully. I think if you are you want to aspire to automate your system, or at least make them as rule-based as possible. Not everyone thinks like that. Some traders, they thrive on keeping it discretionary. right? Keeping it fluid and flexible and not having one specific rule or a set of rules, but they're flexible with the set of rules they apply. And that's fine. If it works for you, who am I to say don't do it? For sure, you should keep on doing it. If it's working, don't change it. However, in my experience, if you're looking for consistency, if you're looking for reproducibility, you want to have a rule-based system. A rule-based system means that you have objective rules what to do, when to do it, when to enter, and when not to. And if you have a rule-based system, then it is likely, not necessarily for sure, but it is likely that you're able to automate it, at least part of it. And as we all know, automation is if done correctly, can be a blessing. So there's a human limit to what we can do in terms of focus, in terms of hours, in terms of the number of charts we can look at, in terms of human errors and so on. And if you automate it, if you automate the process, you can multiply that. You can make it flawless or almost flawless. So there's a lot of benefits to be had, and you can release free time, right? So you're not bound to the charts necessarily the whole day, because you have automated maybe a big part and hopefully all of your trading. Eventually, it is possible for many strategies, and you may keep some discretion to it, and that's fine. But the more you can automate, the better it would be for your productivity. So that's one thing. And profitable automated trading system, you can't get them, right? If a system, manually or automate, doesn't matter, if it's rule based and is profitable, and I have one, and I've met actually more than one, then there's no reason why it wouldn't work with automated. I know it works because I've a couple of automated systems myself, and I'm working constantly on building new ones. And the next question you have was, how can you find a profitable automated trading system? That's a bit difficult, but what you can start off is, you can, if you already have a system. If you don't have one, then it's a bigger search. But you already have one, you can ask a coder to code it for you, right? You have already set the rules that you have back tested manually and forward tested, and maybe you have some experience with, and you're confident with your system. You can go on to these online places, marketplaces, where you can hire someone to do a project for you. You hire a coder, and they will code your system, into an EA for you. And if you don't have one yet, then that's the whole process of finding and building a system. It's a whole process. Maybe it is by watching. Let me try to say it as quick. I already passed the 2 minutes long time ago, but maybe what you can do is look at, if you already have a lot of screen time, look for ideas you already possess, you already have, about how the market moves, and try to build rules around it. So when this happens, let's say it's the beginning of London, if it creates this pattern, then I want to go long, and break that down into objective rules and test it out. And if it doesn't work, tweak it, test it again. Doesn't work, you go through that process of tweaking and testing all the time until you get something that works. And sometimes you test a lot of things and none of them work, and that's part of the process until you get something that works. And that's it. And it doesn't have anything to do with automated system. That's just how you build trading systems. And the automation is just another layer where you do it, where you have someone, or you code it yourself, into an EA, an expert advisor, and have it trade for you without you being there. Hopefully that answers your questions. Hi, Marina. Let's see. We have a couple of more questions here. Thank you for that. I agree on that was the right question. Let's see. The market is dying. Do you guys recommend? Okay, so let me put this on. Is the market dying? Do you guys recommend people to trade these upcoming days, or there is still many action opportunities in the market? Liquidity is slowly dying. Johnny Boy, my friend, I think you need to balance things out, because socially, and I talk more holistically than only focusing on trading, but holistically, the value of these days, Christmas Eve, if you're celebrating it, and even if you're not, the festivities around it, it doesn't happen all year round. So in a sense, the opportunity cost to enjoy valuable time with friends and family is quite high if you decide to trade now, unless you can combine them like I do. I trade a couple of hours and I make sure that the rest of the day I have it free for those social gatherings and social activities. So I would say if you're able to apply and you have data on your performance during these holidays, to trade a couple of hours, and you're able to and do it profitably, then it's okay. That's fine. And you have that available time, then do it by all means. But if I think it does not make sense, or it's not worth it to spend a lot of time while you could be enjoying these great days with your close ones. So I think the balance is going to be tilting more on prioritizing non-trading activities, quality time with family and friends, above trading in these occasion, unless you can do this in advance. You shouldn't do it now, but you could do this in advance. Go back the last 2 weeks of every December for the last 5 years, for example, and look. You need a replay software for that, and trade your system. Trade your system for the last 5 years every day. Just you do the same time in real time, and see what kind of results you're getting. If you're able to trade them profitably, and you have the time, then I think there's nothing wrong in trading here. I do that. But I do recognize, I have to say as well, I do recognize that the market moves a little bit different. The volatility, it does die out. There are less, if you're a breakout trader, then your opportunities are going to be less present during these days, right? If you are, and you need to adjust your targets as well, because everything is then compressed. The ranges become compressed. As you can see, the market is not really moving a lot. There's a lot of sideways movement and not a lot of action. However, that can be treacherous, because if something happens around these holidays, these festivities, or these days that low volatility, because of the low volume, it's easier to move the market. So let's move to the charts a little bit. If the market, let's say here, actually the market has been moving quite nice the last couple of days, so it's not been sideways at all. But let's say if the market were to break out, if news comes out and were to break out today or maybe tomorrow, you can easily see a big candle if it's something huge that happened, compared to another day. Because of that volume, volume is thin, it takes less power or volume to move the market, right? To make price go like more than 100% ATR 150 to 100. Doesn't happen very often because usually there isn't a lot going on these days. There are less deals, there's no business or less business, and so on. But still, things can happen out there on the geopolitical arena that cause these big impulses to happen, to occur. So you want to, there's still opportunity, but just less frequent, I would say. All right, let's take a look here. Let's see. No problem. Idea was exactly to be prepared about the liquidity spikes. To understand, you said it's not a mint, but it's a sort of a window of 2 hours. Oh yes, that's the opening bell. Yes. Yes, exactly right. It's not a minute, indeed, a specific time, moment in time. Although I must say, if you watch carefully, if you observe carefully, 8 o'clock in the morning, sometimes 8:30, sometimes 9 o'clock London time a.m., sometimes earlier, sometimes later, but on specific time like on the hour, on half the hour, you would see a big spike. And not seldom, you can see a big move or a substantial move starting from that singular moment, right? So it's not a bell, but apparently, traders are waiting for these numbers or this time to hit, for them to become active, like 9 o'clock a.m. London time, or 8:30 or 8, and so on. So there are things you can see, as well as at the end of the London session. There are moments you can almost pinpoint where the volatility will die out for a couple of hours, even while New York is still open. So that's something you want to be looking at. Okay, let's see. All right. Thank you all for being here with us on this Christmas Eve day. Jedworth, or J Edwards, is asking, what firm do you use for your charts? I use Oanda, as you can see on the chart. Not that it's the only option or the best one out there, absolutely the best one, but it's the one that I've seen resembles, I've had the best results with, I have done my back testing with, so I stick to it. Oanda is maybe it may change in the future, but so far Oanda is fine. But I mean, FXCM is fine as well. I sometimes use Pepperstone, but I need to watch out for the opening candles of each week, because I know that they start apparently an hour later or earlier, and that changes the structures of the candles, the open, and I like to have it similar to all the other price feeds, meaning like Oanda, FXCM, and so on, Forex.com, etc. All right, let's take a look before we can continue. I think this is a great moment, everyone, to think about, as the year is ending, about your progression as a trader. What have you achieved so far? And what will it take for you to achieve the next level in your trading career? Whether you are already profitable or not, whether you're already consistent or not, all of us, whether you're getting huge payouts already or not, or you haven't had your payouts yet, think about what you've done so far to come this far, and what do you think will be needed for you to make the next step? What is it, if it is known to you already, what is it that you think will allow you to make that step, to step up your game and become better, improving, even if it's not the ultimate goal yet, just the next step? Let's say you are still revenge trading? Well, instead of saying my goal is to never revenge trade, you could put a target or a milestone, a goal to say, okay, for 1 month, or maybe that's too much for some people, for 1 week, I will not revenge trade. I will only take the trades that I'm supposed to take and not take trades based on the fact that I lost and I want to get back at the market, right? That could be a goal. How think about what would it take from you to be able to do 1 week. Once you get to 1 week, you do it again, perhaps another week, and you say, okay, now I want to have a bigger goal. I want to do it 1 month, and so on, until suddenly you almost never revenge trade again. But what is it, right? What is it that is needed in your next step in your progression? Think about that at the end of this year, as we are nearing the end of the year and we're starting a new, fresh year. It's always great to have these, reflections about how we can improve. Okay, so we have one question here. The BB Trader, Bollinger Band, I suppose, 3161. If you could once explain how to trade breakout and breakdown retest level. Sure, we can do that. I'm gonna mark this. Let's take a look. Good music, good background music. All right, let's take a look. I'll go to the markets to show my point. What you can do, for example, is, well, you can use support and resistance that get flipped. Now that can be a line, right? Or it can be a supply demand zone area, which is basically the same, but it's an area, not a line. You can also use order blocks, which are, to me, they are just another representation of supply and demand. For example, you have an area, and it can be based on a quasi, it can be based on anything else. I mean, not everyone trades quasi, but here you have a supply area. That's an area in the past that the market has indicated that sellers are interested in selling, getting to the market and sell the market. That's why we get these big candles that create them, right? That's the candle that created this order block. Now the this level, that's a supply level, right? It's telling us that once the market gets back to the same level, and you can see it happening here. Look at that big upper wick. When the market gets back to that area, you can expect sellers, right, being humans, being creatures of habits, to do the same, right? They sold it the first time. They will likely to be selling it the second time as well, maybe even a little bit on the third time, and maybe not so much on the fourth. So you can see that it's a supply zone. Market is reacting to it until suddenly it's broken. Not suddenly, but I mean eventually it gets broken. Once you have the area, being it an actual area or a line, you can have it marked on your chart and watch for the market to go through it. But maybe this is the daily, so maybe I should put something on a smaller time frame, maybe on the 1 hour. What you can do then is, this is just one idea, not necessarily a specific strategy, but it's a concept. Hold on. So what you can do is, you have the line that represents the area. I'll make it yellow so you can see it. And then there are different ways to apply the same concept, but this is how I would do it. I would identify a supply and demand by order blocks, using order blocks which are objective, which are rule based, and I would wait for the market to break through it, right? break through it and actually close on the relevant time frame. That could be the H1, the H4, or even the daily, if that's, if you're going on the higher time frame. Break through it, right? Indicating that it's not just a wick, it's not a fake out. It's actually, it has meat to it, this move. In my case, I would wait for a close. Wait for the close and wait for the market to come back either quickly, the next following candle, if it's the daily, and even on the H1, the next following candle or the next few candles. And there I would go to the lower time frame to see if I can find reasons to go long, because the idea is that now this is the supply area, right? The supply area that's supposed to call the sellers, right, to come to the market when price hits it to go lower, right? That's the idea. Supply area, price comes to it, it's supposed to go lower. But if it's broken, if the price gets above a supply area and actually closes, and the more time it spends there, the more likely it's going to be considered for everyone as a failed or an invalidated area, meaning that the supply area is broken and is now likely a flipped area becoming a demand zone, right? So that's the idea. It's a break, the retest, and you expect this movement to happen, right? So it comes back. Now, once it's invalidated, right? So you want it to close. You can even wait for 2 closes up if you so desire to make it a bit more selective, and then you wait for price to come back to the same area, and you're looking for within this area when it comes back, right, for reversal patterns. That could be quasis, that could be fresh order blocks, they could be double bottoms, they could be divergence, pin bars, anything that indicates the side, in this case the longs, coming in and showing aggression. And so you go in the lower time frames and you may see perhaps on the 5-minute, see a quasi, right? An established downtrend, lower low, lower highs, and lower low, and then a break of the neckline. You wait for the retest and for the continuation, right? This could happen. Let me mark this. Let me take a snapshot of it, right? And this could happen on the lower time frames in here, right? And by reading the lower time frames, you understand that the market is trying to reverse, and then you get in on the right shoulder, right? As it is forming, or right after it forms, you get in and you put your stop below the structure that indicated the reversal on the lower time frame, and you target either that high or some other level that makes sense on the structure that you're trading. So that is one way that I would do the break and retest. So you wait for the market to break a structure, a supply zone in the case of a long break and retest setup, and then you wait for the market to come back, make the patterns indicating that it's reversing, and then you go in and you target the next trouble area, which could be that high or something else from the left. All right, let's take a look on yes, you can, you have my attention. Let me check here. This message was from 20 minutes ago. Thank you. Scripted Signals, thank you for your nice words. Merry Christmas to you. Samir is not is coming back soon. Yesterday, Samir was with us, and will be a mask. Yes, a mask. Santa Claus has a beard. I have a mask. It's part of the attire. Let's take a look. We're gonna be looking at gold soon. Let's take a look at David G, or David G saying, hello Victor, how are you doing? Merry Christmas. Yes, Merry Christmas to you as well, David. Thank you for coming in. You guys are great on Christmas Eve. Let's take a look. Let's see. Doom Mac Bar has a question. Victor, as you mentioned that some trades you hold for weeks, does not it being hit by some news due to high spreads? No, not at all. Not at all. No, you can. It doesn't happen very often, but once you have alignment on the lower time, at least me, when I have alignment on the lower time frame and you have a daily reason, let me give you an example, right? So let me take these out, clear them out. Let's say you have on, right? So let's say you have a monthly. This is EU, so you have the monthly structure right here from the left, right? That came from the left, and the market creates another fresh order block monthly, on top or based on the reaction from that initial entry order block on the monthly time frame, or the quasi from the monthly time frame. Once you have a quasi, an entry, not a quasi, an entry of interest, an area of interest, and you have a fresh order block being created, and it is created. This is the creation of the order block, and then you have the retest. Basically, the market is telling you that it is trying to reverse from the area again, right? And it's doing it at a relevant place because of the structure on the left. This move is not going to happen in one candle. If it happens, I don't know if it's going to happen, but if it were to happen, it's not going to happen in one candle. And it's likely not only, maybe it's going to target that low, but it could just as easily target the next structure on the weekly time frame, which is a little bit lower. This is, what is this? This is 400 pips. That's not going to happen in a day, not even in a week. May happen in a month, but likely it will take plenty of weeks, maybe sometimes more than a month, to reach there. So once you have the monthly indicating the retest of this order block, you go to the weekly and you look for a reason. In this case, there isn't a reason. I'll be honest, there isn't a reason. But imagine we did have the quasi on the weekly already indicated, right? That this already happened. It broke the structure, indicated that it wanted to go back. And it is then coming up. So not like now that it didn't break structure, but imagine it would have, if it did indeed break the structure. Let's say this move was way lower. This pattern, this quasi, indicates that and if the market indeed had, let me mark this. So let's assume this is an entry order block on the weekly time frame. It isn't. It's just a regular order block. But imagine it really was a entry order block, right? And the weekly also starts giving you bearish engulfing, bearish outside bar, perhaps inside bars, pin bars, things that indicate that the sellers on this time frame are coming to the market. If you're reading the market correctly, if the sellers indeed are coming to the market, that means that they're going to likely, the market is going to break down for at least a little bit. And that's all you need, basically, because once the market reacts to that weekly order block, it will likely come back, and before you know it, it will be evident for everyone else that we had a reaction of this order block, and by that time, the target market will probably accelerate to the next level, which could be that whatever low that was put in before, or something even lower. So you can understand that if you go to the lower time frame, let's say you go to the lower time frames, it could happen, I don't know, it could happen maybe maybe the next couple of days. This could be a left shoulder. It's not yet, but it could be. This could be the head, and maybe in the future, maybe today, maybe next couple of days, it could break this neckline and do, for example, this. That will be also a quasi. And you have an entry order block here, right there, right? It's not there yet. I mean, there's an order block there, but it's not an entry order block on the quasi, which is a different thing. It could then come back. All of this is hypothetical, right? This is just one scenario, but it just to indicate you how you can hold the trade for weeks, and not really care about it, and just let it do its thing, either reaching the first targets, and then you'll have to close it or close it all, or leave a part for a bigger target. So let's say you have it on the 4 hour. I personally would go to the lower time frames and apply. Well, this is the, I can move this upside down, but you get the point. Let me get there. So I would do something like this. Actually, let's change that. So let's assume you have a quasi on the lower time frame as well once price gets there, right? So you have a quasi on the lower time frame. That could be on the 30 minutes, 15 minute. It could be, hourly, whatever it is that you're good at spotting. And you get in and you mark it like so, right? So once this quasi is created and the market actually, let's assume that the market did indeed reverse. Not going to do it all the time, but let's assume that it did indeed reverse. Once it breaks that low, it will become evident for everyone that it is reacting on the whole structure here. Likely, maybe it'll come back to retest a little bit and then mitigate some order block and then move away. Once it's going halfway, or maybe three-quarter of the not three-quarter, but maybe a third of its way to the bottom of this quasi, for everyone it's going to be, that's the easy trade, right? It's already clear that the market is going lower. They're just trying to sell pops into the target, right? It does something like this. Once it breaks that low, the quasi on the 4 hour, what will happen is, let's go to the daily target. Once you see, once everyone sees this happening, you would understand, people will understand that it's breaking structures. Probably there could be a daily order block created, bearish one, which it will, it doesn't have to happen all the time, but at some point, from the lower time frames, it will develop and show what was on the what began on the 15-minute, right? Could start creating in bearish structures, in increasing and breaking bullish structure on increasing time frames, eventually breaking daily structures. And well, you don't have to wait for the invalidation of the daily structures to actually hold the trades longer. If you have a daily reason already, that could be a fresh order block being retested and moving away from it. So you have this is the entry order block on the quasi. If you have the market coming to it and moving away from it with power, even if it's not a beautiful, perfect setup or structure, that alone on itself can indicate that the market has reacted on whatever structure there is to left. And if you build it up from the 5 or the 15 or even the 1 minute, and you have the hourlies playing along with let's say a quasi or a double top, and the market eventually moves away on the daily time frame, maybe in the same day or maybe the next day, you will have a cascading effect where the market will move quite quickly away from the level. And once it does that, it will, it's you don't have to worry with high impact news anymore, because likely, well, it depends on, it doesn't always happen that that the high impact news will not affect you. But what happens to me a lot of the times is either the reaction happens before the high impact news, and perhaps it will come back on the high impact news, but usually it will just continue the same direction because it has to do with the expectation of the market. But usually the market is already pricing in a certain reaction, a certain result for the market, and if it, it may surprise a little bit, but eventually it will go, a lot of the times, more often than not, it will go in the same direction as the technical structure was already indicated. And since you're holding that for a longer period of time, you're going to have enough, often have enough distance already, because otherwise you would not be holding it for days. I'm not going to hold it unless the daily shows me I can hold. But if the daily shows I can hold, that means there is a daily structure. That means that the ranges to my stops, to my entry I'm already well in profit. Meaning, I can handle, I'm more able to handle high impact news. So it's not necessarily an issue as long as you use proper bottom up process of your trade management, meaning top down analysis and bottom up process where you're not upgrading the trade for a daily target unless the hourlies increasingly in time frame have confirmed and have told you that this trade is even a bigger trader than you from the beginning, or what it initially was. Maybe it was a 15-minute structure, but now the H1 are forming bearish structures as well, and later on maybe the H2, maybe H4, maybe H12, and eventually the daily will be creating those engulfing, those pin bars, those outside bars that indicate that the sellers are actually coming in and pushing through to the direction you're wanting. And so once you do it adequately, upgrading your trade adequately, automatically, naturally, the market you will only do it if the market keeps on creating the structure you need, bigger and bigger structures, meaning you're going in the right direction already. You're already leaving your stop loss behind. You can even, after a day, you can bring them in and put them in profit, and minimizing your risk. And so once if you do it responsibly, there's high impact news can still take you out, but it's not a concern because you have the technicals confirming that the likely thing to happen is that the market is, as long as it is going and creating the structures in your direction, the market is, it's like the trend. It's what forms the trend. The market will likely to continue going in that direction, so it should be okay. And you can hold it for days and sometimes weeks on end. All right. Let's take a look for any more before you go to gold. We had a couple of requests to go gold. No problem. DJ, how are you doing? Merry Christmas to you. Yes, I'm doing well. I hope you're doing well as well, and your whole family. All right. No problem at all. We are here, to give you all the tools, the funding, and everything needed for you to become successful. Even these streams are based on that intention. We're trying to give you exposure to traders like myself, like other traders who are already profitable, who are, different degrees of consistency at different stages of their trading career, but who have something to show, can give you exposure to good practice, that can help anyone who's willing to learn. And that's the only thing. It's a will to learn. It's not about intelligence, and it's not about money. You don't have to be wealthy to be a good profitable trader, not at all. You do have to have some capital to buy some accounts, of course, but that's not the most important thing. The most important thing is the will and the grid to keep on pushing forward and learning every day a little bit until you reach those milestones where you're able to extract money from the market. Even if it's a little money, that's a huge achievement, because if if you have an edge, and you can extract some money from the market consistently, there's nothing stopping you of extracting more. Just a matter of getting a bigger account, right? If you're making 0.5% a month, 1% a month, doesn't have to be many percent, a lot of profit, just a little bit, but do it consistently, prove it to yourself, and then you get those bigger accounts, 100K, and not only one, multiple of those, and you'll see that those 1% gains can actually change your life. All right. Let's see. No problem at all. We have, let's see. All right, let's take a look. Let's take a look. Okay, all right, let's take a look at gold. We have Dom Z. Thank you for your Dom C. Let's keep it positive, Dom C HC7ST. Thank you for your feedback and your opinion. You're allowed and entitled to your opinion. Perhaps that's your idea is that a mask means hiding my face, and that automatically means I'm not a trader. To you, I respect that. But let's keep it positive, my friend. We are here to give you valuable lessons, experience, examples, strategy. I talk about openly about my strategies. If you spend some time on the stream, you will see that some traders actually pass accounts. I don't, they're on their own instance or their own initiation. They come to the stream and tell us that, using the concept that we teach, that I share, they are passing challenges, they're getting payouts, and to me, that's proof enough. And I understand that perhaps the mask may put you off, but think about it. If what I'm talking about makes sense to you, if it helps you, right? If what I'm saying, if the content of my words and my sentences are valuable to you, does it really matter that I have a mask on? Think about it. Does it? Right? It doesn't matter if I'm giving you good advice with a mask on. Does that make the advice less good? I don't think so. Think about those things. But thank you for your presence. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. And while you are thinking about it, please hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Come more often. Challenge me. I have no issues at all. Challenge me. Ask me questions. See if I can show you. Maybe you would not like my strategy. Maybe you don't like my personality. Maybe you don't like my voice. And that's fine. I respect that. There's nothing wrong with that. But before coming to the conclusions you explore there, please try me out the same way you would. Even though I have a mask on, I'm pretty open about a lot of things trading related, right? Private stuff are private. That's why I have my mask on. But trading related stuff, I'm very, very open about it. I'm very honestly about it, and you can ask me anything you want, and I'll do my best to try to help you and show you. I know the industry is, if you look at gurus and furus, you'll see, they'll do everything out there, showing you fake sport car, rented cars, and does that make them better traders? Maybe they are great traders. I don't know, but I don't think I need to show you any card to show you that help you out with your edge, right? Good advice doesn't matter. The package is always still a good advice. Anyways, let's come on. Someone here, Charles, saying, I have a day job and the only way I would go on cam is with a mask. Thanks for sharing. Charles, you know exactly why I have my mask on. Thank you all. Thank you for sharing that message. I appreciate that. Not everyone is, nowadays, and I know I'm on social media, right? We are streaming on YouTube, and I'm part of the industry. And nowadays, sharing everything, you know, your everything is normalized, and that's not normal for everyone. So not everyone is able to do that. So a lot of times I make jokes about it, but this is the actual reason behind the mask. And um, yeah, I think if you spend the time, my friend, what was the your name again? Let me check. Dumsy, HC7ST. If you spend time on our stream, you'll see we are as legit as you can get. We are open. We are, providing education, funding, and a lot more community. Come into the Discord, and you will find a warm place for your trading necessities as well. All right, let's go to gold. Let's take a look at gold. Before we do so, we do have a let's see, we have a 4 hour. I already indicated that's an H4 order block. It's not a part of a quasi, so I'm gonna take away the label entry order block, just normal order block. So I would now I'm waiting for, so these are my options for today. I know it's getting time is going by, and maybe we'll not get a setup for today. However, the it may still signal for today, and this is the area H4. So what I would be waiting for is price to come back here, and it looks like it needs more time, and maybe probably not going to happen today. But if it does come back and give me a quasi, right, an established downtrend, and then breaking of that neckline, coming back, then I would be gladly getting in after that right shoulder is formed, right? Maybe I will try to do it as tight as possible and target maybe not the other side, but perhaps that high, maybe the next level, depending on something that I see from the left at that time. We still have about 8 minutes on the stream, and on the day we have about what? I trade the London session, even though I'm now in South America. I still trade the London session. So I have about, what is it? About 2.5 hours more to trade. In all fairness, in all honesty, I don't think the market will reach the level. It's Christmas Eve, lower volatility as we progress through the day. I don't think it's going to reach that. So but that's the premise, or that's the initial idea, is to look for in that demand zone reasons for or the presence of a reversal pattern, and then it's not going to get to the supply zone either. There's not enough time for that, and I only trade using the H4 as the basis, right? So I will be looking for something like this on the next couple of sessions, right? Going long from this level and going short from the level above, and especially the short version, this setup, I would look to see if there is a daily reason, or soon to be a daily reason, because if that is the case in the future, then I can hold it not just for the intraday target, but all the way to the next daily structure that makes sense to me. At this moment, it is about let's see how far away. It's about 80 pips away. If it were to come back and then reverse, but that's not going to happen today. The market is not setting up right now, and you have to go. This is what I meant with trading on holidays. The trades automatically, the volume, the ranges, the structures, they become slower, and automatically I will not get a signal. But if I do get it, I will just take it. There's nothing wrong taking it on. At least my strategy is is not very affected by the holidays. Let's check gold, because that is what people would let's take a look. Let's take a look. All right, let's market is actually getting moving right now. That's a big candle. Is there something happening in the it is almost all right, so let me check the news if there's something. There isn't actually. There's no reason. No, on the economical calendar, at least, there's no reason for price to continue moving, but we can check. This is the level. I'll move this level out, and we'll have to actually wait for the H2 is, I don't think it's fresh anymore. Let's count how many candles. 4, 6, 8, 10. This is the 10th candle, so it has that's the 10th candle. So it has about what? It has about an hour to reach this level, and if so, then maybe there's a little trade there. An hour, maybe it can reach that in 1 hour, and then we can go to the 5-minute and get our entry long from that area. But that's, we'll see if it gets there. Actually, I'll put a timer there. That was a TP I had from yesterday. The TP was hit, but somehow I didn't change the alert. I'll just change it for setup, right? All right, let's take a look at gold before we close our Christmas Eve session of Trading Room of the Fivers. Let's have a look here. So gold on the higher time frames is has been ballistic, going up, and continuing to go up. Right, very, very trendy. See you later, Marina. Take care. Thank you for being with us today and every day on our. And today we have a Discord session as well in about 45 minutes. So stay tuned. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then get an account of the Five first. There's actually a promotion now. 2.5K, 2.5K account for only $12, and you can have 2 of them. $12. That's, I know in some country that's still some decent money for some people, but $12 I think is a low entry bar for a lot of people to get their first account, get those trades in, and starting your career. Get your account, because in the account you will find in the hub, in the personalized dashboard, you can get the icon that leads you to Discord community. It's a free community where we come together, have activities, have calls. We go through the market, hang out, and share good and bad experiences, and trying to learn from those collectively. All right, so on the higher time frame, the monthly, the gold is, there's really nothing for me to trade there, since it's all going up. There's no fresh order block being created and so on. On the weekly, there isn't a break of structure. What we can see on the weekly is the compressions and breakout that we have on after each compression, and that's still going on. We had 2 of those, actually 3. And right here, market is not even compressing. It's actually still accelerating, and that's leaving behind a couple of order blocks which are not being retested and not being mitigated, because the market is just so bullish. This is one did get mitigated, but that's the only one. That's the first order block. The last one is this one. Prices didn't have the necessity to come back to retest it. The weekly doesn't say anything else, that just the market is breaking out of this previous high, cleanly, and in 2 days will close, making that break confirming that break as a fact. The daily time frame that on gold, what we're seeing, right? So let me mark the level. That's also visible supposed to be visible on this time frame. Yes, so we have a clean breakout of this level. We reached TP already, or not, I'm not sure. I think that was on the lower time frames, but there's no fresh order block, there's no quasi, so to me there isn't a lot to be done currently on the higher time frames on the daily. If price comes back to this level, then I would be starting to look if that's going to be the level the market needs to, continue higher. Don't know that. We'll have to wait for price to get there, and then read price action as we move through the area, as we interact with the area. On the lower time frames, we have, let's see, do we have a quasi? We don't have a quasi, at least not yet. I'm focusing on this area after the breakout to see if we have a reversal pattern. We don't have one. What we do have is a quasi that was retested. No, I'm sorry, not a quasi, a fresh order block that was retested. That's this one. This is the retest. 1, 2, 3 candles being the retest. That's a nice one, actually. I didn't trade it. Just looking and sharing this with you. So we did have alignment, but that's a big candle. That's not something I would like to trade. We do have a fresh order block here. Let me take that out. There is a fresh order block here. So if price were to come back to this order block on H2, that would allow me to take a trade from it, since it would have alignment from the H4 and refinement from the H2. Right, so there we go. That's an area that I would like to trade from. Doesn't seem like it's going to come back. But if it will come back, then I would trade it. What else? Here we do have a quasi, and the quasi is right here. I hope you guys can see it. Actually, it's also visible on the H2. I would want to price to break that low. Hasn't done it yet, but break it and then come back for something that makes sense to me, which would be like, this is hypothetical because it hasn't broken it yet. So if it will break it, then I would want to take a trade. It needs to break it and then come back to make a trade from. Actually, the whole area is a valid area to take from, right? So I'll be there and taking the short from here. Something like that, and target that whatever low was hit before. That would be one way of doing it. That's on the H2. On the H1, let's see what we have. H1, we have upper area here that's not fresh anymore, but if it does break that neckline, then this becomes an entry order block on H1. All right, there. That's the second one. I like these, so I would be, if price were to break that neckline, I would wait for price to come back. If it comes back, wait for it to come back, and then try to look on the lower time frames, on the 5, on the 15, on the 1 minute even, getting results. Yes, I would have then look for those quasis being created if it comes back. So goes down, comes back, and then look for the quasi to be created. Well, I need to. All right, there we go. That would be an idea, and then look for the shorting that level. I know it looks going back and forth, but of course it doesn't have to do it in a V shape. It can be, it can have all kinds of ways to do this. But those are the opportunities that I say. I don't even go to the minutes unless I have something on the 4 hour. So this is the area that I'm interested in on the currently, and if it breaks this low, then I'll be interested in these two levels. This is one, and this is the other one, right? So it's gonna change a little bit depending on whether it breaks this or not, that level or not, by that time. All right, so that's gold. I hope you guys have enjoyed this stream with us today. This is the Fiverr's live trading room. I would like to thank you for watching and invite you for our Discord session in about 40 minutes. Let me check my watch. About 41 minutes from now on the Discord. Hit the like button. Even if you are, even if you're not a trader, hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel, because if you have that little seed, that little will, that little dream to become a trader, then this is your opportunity. $12. What is $12? I know in some countries, because we're streaming all around the world, we have people from Africa, from India, from Indonesia, the Philippines, South America, as well as Europe and the USA. But in some countries, $12 can be a sizable sum. But even so, $12, that's a steal. Basically, you can get your foot in the door, get an account, maybe for testing reasons, maybe to tread water with your strategy, or maybe that could be the seed. Maybe that's all you need to get your first account funded, and then some payouts may not be huge, right? Because the account is a small one, but it's a beginning. And that's if the proof of concept, once you have it proven, you can use those payouts to buy a bigger account, a 20, a 60, or even 100K account, and get some sizable, some decent money, income. And who knows, this could be your your career. All right, that's it. All is on my side. Thank you all for being here and spending time with us. I hope all of you have an amazing Christmas or holidays if you're not celebrating Christmas. I hope to see you back. We will be here again on Monday. So I will not say Happy New Year yet, because that's, we still have a couple of sessions to go. But have a Merry Christmas, an amazing couple of days. I hope you spend time with your loved ones. In the end, we trade to get a better quality of life, right? To get security and to provide for ourselves and our families. In the end, it is, to have quality time with our loved ones. And this is the moment around Christmas or holidays. So don't miss the chance, and enjoy it a lot. I will be back on Monday, and wishing you all the best. See you guys soon again. Bye-bye.